I'm Christine Lisi. The Bulls will be without guards Zach LaVine and Alex Caruso in a must-win against the Bucks in Game 5 of their first-round NBA playoff series tonight. LaVine in health and safety protocols, while Caruso's out due to concussion protocol. Game 5, 7 Eastern, ESPN Radio. No more minutes restrictions for Steph Curry, but the Warriors have yet to say if he'll return to his starting role against the Nuggets tonight. Curry, who missed about a month with a foot injury, has come off the bench the first 4 games of the series. When Steph is back in the starting lineup, somebody's got to move to the bench. Not an easy call, notes ESPN Warriors reporter Kendra Andrews.
Is it going to be Jordan Poole, who has exceeded everyone's expectations in the way that he's filled in for Steph? Will it be Kevon Looney? Will they start that small ball lineup right away, even though they're playing against arguably the best center in the NBA? Or will it be Andrew Wiggins, who, yes, has had a quieter, a smaller role, but the Warriors have been very pleased with the way he's played this series.
Golden State moves on with a win tonight. NFL Jags and tackle Cam Robinson agreed on a 3-year, $54 million extension.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there. Make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Pels drop Game 5. That one stung.
It's hump day.
Bounce back opportunity mañana.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
LSU baseball season ended last night. Dropped a midweek game.
It's hump day.
Can't amount to anything when you lose a midweek game.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
So wrap it up. Put a bow on it.
It's hump day.
Put the bats and gloves away.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
No need to play on. It's over.
It's hump day.
Still, we'll talk to Kendall Rogers next hour.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
For all the teams that are still going to continue playing their season. Larry Holder in 15 minutes.
It's hump day.
Sean Salisbury in hour 3.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
All right, let's get down to it, y'all. A lot to do here over the next 3 hours. Thrilled to have you aboard with us. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and there on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Pels last night fall in Game 5, 112-97. They were able to keep it within reach until the very end.
Now Johnson drives, bump to the baseline, kick it to Bridges. This is a dagger. Yep. Right wing. That's an absolute dagger.
You had a couple of open 3 looks for the Pelicans. You can't get them to go. Phoenix gets an open 3 look from Bridges. He does get it to going. You go from a possibility of being down 7 to down 13.
Yep, that's a 6-point swing.
That 6-point swing really was critical. Alvarado misses a 3, which would have made it 7. On the flip side, Bridges makes the 3, so it's 13, and in a blink, just like that, that for all intents and purposes was where you felt like the Pels' opportunity really slipped away. Phoenix, they're the best team in the NBA for a reason. Phoenix is 50-0. 50-0 this year when leading after 3 quarters. And the Pelicans' slow start, ultimately too much of a hole to dig out of as they got behind the 8 ball and just never could quite dig all the way out of it. After the game, Willie Green talked about the issues shooting the basketball that New Orleans had in Game 5?
You know, I really don't know exactly if it's their defense or we just need to make more shots. However, you know, it's tough to win games when we shoot 40% from the field and 20% from three. So we just have to be better. And, you know, the 14 assists is an indicator that we have to move the ball more.
C.J. McCollum said it, you know, after Game 4, and it's so cliche, but it's so true. The NBA is a make or miss league. The skill level is so high, everyone is so good and so talented that it really comes down to who gets shots to fall. It's a make or miss league. Can you get stops and then convert on the opposite end? And when you look at the box score from last night, it tells you the story. Phoenix was 50% from the floor. The Pels were 40% from the floor. Phoenix was 37% from three. New Orleans was 20% from three, just 5 of 25. You know, we went into this game wondering so much about the foul disparity from Game 4 and if that might normalize. Well, you can't blame the officials for how this one went. Phoenix was whistled for 25 fouls. New Orleans was whistled for 20 fouls. So you still went to the free throw line more than they did. You attempted 35 free throws. New Orleans was 28 of 35. Phoenix was 16 of 20. You attempted 15 more free throws than they did. So, like, I'm not trying to just throw out a whole bunch of numbers, but if you want one statistic that tells you the story, Brandon Ingram, C.J. McCollum were the Pels' leading scorers in the ballgame, and they combined to shoot 14 of 41, 34%. They combined to shoot 34% from the floor. Your two stars just didn't shoot it well. I'm not putting a loss on them. But on the flip side, you look at Mikal Bridges, who goes out and has a career night, puts up 31 points, played 47 minutes. Dude was awesome. He elevated his game on a huge stage. And Phoenix won a game that they really felt like on their home floor they had to win. I'm not surprised by it. You know, yesterday we kind of threw out the poll question how you thought the series would go. And you know, I thought Phoenix was going to win yesterday. Now, in fairness, I also thought Phoenix was going to win Game 4. But last night, it made so much sense for Phoenix after how contentious Game 4 was. You know, Herb, retaliating against Chris Paul, refusing to let Chris Paul help him up. Jose Alvarado, pickpocketing Chris Paul, as frustrated as Paul got. The F.J. Crowder chance. I mean, it was super contentious in Game 4, which is awesome. I mean, that's playoff basketball. When the intensity ratchets up, that's how rivalries are created. I mean, that's Magic Bird. That's the Pistons and the Bulls. I mean, that's, the Bulls and the Knicks. I mean, I'm not saying that this is at that level, but that's how that stuff's created because you're playing meaningful games with high intensity and high stakes, and you got a lot of emotion and highly skilled players playing. So, yeah, in that situation, Phoenix on their home floor looking for a bounce back, it made sense they were going to get that game, and they did. I think with the series shifting back to New Orleans, though, I do think there is an edge to New Orleans in Game 6, and I think we're gonna find ourselves playing a Game 7 on Saturday. But ultimately, in this ball game, New Orleans started too slow. At the end of one quarter, Phoenix led by 12. It was 32-20, and I mentioned Phoenix 50-0 when leading after three quarters, and the Pelicans' chance in this game was in the third quarter. The Suns spent half of the third quarter in foul trouble, and the Pels were in the bonus. I mean, they were going to the free throw line every time Phoenix fouled in the third quarter, essentially, and just wasn't enough. I mean, there were two sequences in that third quarter, like right at the end of the quarter, where Nance Pels are down 10, Nance hits a shot, you're down 8. And you have a 2-for-1 opportunity right there at the end of the third quarter. You're down 8, go down to the other end. Instead of getting the stop and an opportunity right there, Payne hits the 3, so your 8-point deficit is now 11, and then Brandon Ingram missed at the buzzer. So you had an opportunity, down 8, if you get a stop and a bucket, you're down 6 going into the fourth quarter. Instead, look how much that swings. You give up the 3, and then you get a miss. There was just too much of that last night to overcome against a really good team. So, disappointing, but you have a great opportunity to go get Game 6 in New Orleans on your home floor. It is going to be lit in the Smoothie King Center tomorrow night with so much energy and so much emotion. The Pels facing elimination, and something we've talked about. We'll talk about it even more tomorrow. But and I love, by the way, the red shirts. It'll be a red out again. I don't know if you've seen the shirt that the Pelicans have put this out. That's going to be on every seat in the Smoothie King Center. It's a Nola versus everybody shirt is what everybody's going to have on there. Last game, it was you got to fight. This is Nola versus everybody. E''ERBODY. I love it. It's awesome. Very representative of the city and the fan base. It's going to be really cool. So I do think that the turnaround time now, where we've talked about it, where it's play, travel, play. I mean, you played on Sunday, traveled on Monday, played on Tuesday, you're traveling on Wednesday, you're going to play on Thursday. I think by tomorrow night, Thursday night, you're talking about the youth of the Pelicans being an asset as opposed to the age of the Suns being a little bit of a detriment. I do think if there's an opportunity for the Pels to just floor it, this is it. And I think the Pels will get Game 6, and they'll force a Game 7, which I think is going to be really tough to win on the road in Phoenix. But, man, if they push this to 7 games, nobody predicted that before this series started. They have a great chance to do it if they can win tomorrow night. All right, tomorrow night is going to be just massive for so many reasons. Of course, it will be Game 6 in the Smoothie King Center, Pels, Suns, but you also have round 1 of the NFL Draft, which starts tomorrow at 7 o'clock. The Saints will be on the clock with 2 picks, number 16 and number 19. Mickey Loomis met with the media earlier today. Larry Holder is going to join us next, talk about what the Saints GM had to say 24 hours ahead of the draft. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, and Bluebonnet. Dine in or carry out. 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice cold draft beer, full-service bar. Sports on TV. Of course, you got the NBA playoffs. You got every Major League Baseball game. And, by the way, there's always great stuff going on over at Pluckers. Buddy Steve Levy over at Pluckers wanted you to know that they have Jontre Kirkland coming out to Pluckers for autograph signing, meet and greet tomorrow on Thursday for the first round of the draft. So from 6 to 9 p.m., get out to Pluckers on Nicholson and meet Jontre Kirkland, get an autograph, get pictures. Really cool event that they're going to have out there. So if you're looking for something to do for the first round of the draft, you want to grab some dinner, you can always get by Pluckers. Nicholson, just south of campus. Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Look, Saturday's a massive day. Everybody knows the Garth Brooks concert. It's going to be packed. You want to eat before or after the Garth concert, Pluckers will be open all day. Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine in, carry out. Pluckers, you like our wings. We'll give you the bird.
Bayou Ford has 0% for 60 months on new Ford F-150s, plus $500 bonus cash. We have new 2022 F-150s on our lot now. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
As a reminder, huge day tomorrow. Pels Watch Party and our Draft Companion Show simultaneously at Don Juan Cigar Bar. So join us in Town Center at Don Juan Cigar Bar. Tip-offs at 6:30, so assemble early. They will have sound for the game on in the bar. So they have food there as well at Don Juan Cigar Bar. So come join us and stay for the Draft Companion Show. We will be on for as long as the draft lasts, which could be held past 11 o'clock, as I would anticipate it will be. Mickey Loomis met with the media on Wednesday to preview the draft. Larry Holder of theathletic.com joins us now to talk a little bit about it, what the Saints might do with their 2 picks in round 1 on Thursday. Larry, thanks as always, man. How are you?
I'm good, Matthew. How are you today?
Doing very well, thanks. Any significant takeaway from what Mickey Loomis had to say when he met with reporters?
No, zero, none. For normal.
I know.
I don't even know why we do this. I know but we try to get information out of him, but it just never works. And he is obligated by the NFL and media obligations to do it, so he does it, and he points and laughs at us every year, and that's just the way it's going to go probably forever with him.
I think there was one thing, though, that was significant today. And he said that the Eagles trade was done with the intention of making 2 picks, not to trade again. So are you assuming at this point that the Pels are planning on making the 16th and 19th picks? The Saints, excuse me?
Yeah, and when they made that move, that's what I figured. It wasn't to trade up to take a quarterback. I mean, that was of course, immediate, fast assumption by national media who don't necessarily know what they're talking about all the time in terms of the Saints. And so it was basically because they could not augment their team enough in free agency, and they're trying to go the 2017 blueprint to build again through the draft. They did it 5 years ago. They want to try to do it again. And it's something that I'm curious to see if maybe they don't get tempted to move up. And I think there's only one position maybe they would get really tempted to move up to draft, and that would be tackle. Mm-hmm. Just because if there's a run on tackles, I feel like they would really like to have one. But it's something they're not moving up to take a quarterback. They're not going to move up to take a corner. We could name the positions. I know people would love them to move up to take a wide receiver, but I don't think it would be cost efficient for them to do that. So I feel like that they want to take 2 players in the first round, and they probably feel like they're in better shape to do it this time than they did in 17, just because their second pick is at number 32. Their second pick this time around is 19.
Do you think they would trade up for a receiver, or stand pat considering it feels like there's a glut of really good receivers in this draft, and they could take one at 16 or 19?
Yeah, I don't think they would trade up for a receiver. And here's the thing. The top 4 might fly off the board, and my consideration of the top 4 would be Garrett Wilson, and no particular order, Jamison Williams, Drake London, Chris Olave. I feel like the one that would be likely there for 16 or 19 would be Olave, and I think that would be a fine pick, and it would fit what they would need. But I can't see them trading up to get one because I feel like that there still would be depth even round 2. There's some players I like there. So I think the Saints probably feel the same way as well.
All right, Larry Holder's with us. He's on Twitter at Larry Holder, theathletic.com/New Orleans. All right, so what players – we've all kind of had the same conversation about offensive tackle, wide receiver at 16, 19, however it may look. There's a lot of scuttle here in the last 24 hours that a team like the Chargers might be looking to leapfrog the Saints to take maybe Trevor Penning, knowing that they're going to have to get ahead of the Saints at 16. Do you think there's a scenario that could unfold where the Saints would be aggressive and move up for a tackle or any player?
I do. I think a tackle. I think that's probably the only position that they would move up for. And because after Penning, it really drops off. And I feel like knowing, because I've actually, my roles kind of changed this past year where I've done a lot of just overall NFL, and I've paid and written a ton about offensive lines. I can tell you the Chargers absolutely need a right tackle. There's zero question. If the Saints pass at 16 and Penning's there, I would be shocked if the Chargers did not take Penning at 17. They need one badly. They took Rashawn Slater last year. He's their left tackle. He's been an upgrade. Right tackle is their Achilles heel. So the Chargers might want to try to jump the Saints. So I feel like, though, that the Saints also, if they want to trade up to go get someone like Penning, you don't have to use both first-round picks. You could use one of the ones and then a later pick to jump a couple spots to do that. So the only way they would jump and use both of their ones would be to go up and get someone like probably Charles Cross, and that's how much it would cost. They could probably jump up as high as 5 with those 2 picks. I don't know if they want to do that. They probably don't, but I definitely see a scenario where if they feel like the Chargers are make a move, that they would try to leapfrog them and kind of beat them out in a trade to go get someone like Penning, because I feel like Penning is really the last day one starting tackle in this draft. And I mean week 1 starting tackle in this draft.
So how much of an immediate need is that for the Saints? I know they lost Teron Armstead, but he missed half the season last year anyway, and they had a serviceable guy there in Hurst. So is it that dramatic of a need for them?
Well, I think that you add it all up, and their offensive line was so beat up. I mean, if they had their starting left tackle, they probably wouldn't have been. They probably, people wouldn't have been as banged up, and the Saints offense maybe would have run more efficiently. So I think it's probably a bigger need than even though Hurst is there. Like, there's a reason why Hurst is a backup. He signed with the Saints as a reserve, and his role diminished during his time in Baltimore, and so that's why he is kind of where he is. So. Do I think that maybe they can find one in round 2 or 3 and see how it goes? Yes. Do they want to probably put themselves in that position, especially considering they have assets to go get a guy they probably feel confident that could start day 1 and use Hurst as kind of a 6th guy? I feel like that they would want to make that move as opposed to just saying, all right, Hurst is our guy and moving forward from there.
You mentioned, and you and I talk Saints all the time, of course, but I mean, you do a lot of coverage now for The Athletic, for the NFL as a whole. Are there any other interesting storylines that you've noticed that have developed maybe in the last 24, 48 hours here in advance of the draft?
I will even keep it localized. And if we lean on BetMGM for our with The Athletic as far as odds, and the favorite to be the number 3 overall pick now is Derek Stingley. And it's not coming out of nowhere, but you keep hearing about, how he might drop to the teams. I feel like that is a development where it might kind of shock some people. And I feel like, I've said this, that I feel like Stingley if he were to fall to like 9 or 10, I think he'd be the steal of the draft because when he's right, I feel like he's the best player in this draft. So that development to me is a bigger deal than who goes 1, because it could be Trayvon Walker or Aiden Hutchinson. Who cares? If one goes 1, another one might go 2 or 4, so what? I think Stingley, after all this chatter of, say, Sauce Gardner being the number 1 corner, that there's a legit possibility that Stingley is still the number 1 corner in the draft.
He's on Twitter at Larry Holder. Give him a follow. All right. We know what the Saints picked, their selections look like. And we know what the needs are at the top of the draft. What would you like to see them do? What do you think are, maybe a better way to ask it, are the biggest needs or musts in days 2 and 3 of the draft?
I think the Saints could look safety. Someone like Jaquan Brisker, I think he's more of a strong safety. Look, you don't have a total replacement that you feel great about probably with Malcolm Jenkins gone, because you don't want to move, in my opinion, you don't want to move CJ GJ out of his role where he's playing nickel and doing his thing, and you probably want to have someone strong at that spot. So maybe someone like that, maybe interior defensive line, nose tackle, and things of that nature. And I know we haven't talked quarterback yet.
I was going to ask.
I know. I'm surprised you didn't have a coronary when you saw a friend of ours, Mike Triplett, take a certain quarterback at 19 that I've been lauding for months. I mean, in their draft. I mean, are you okay? Did you see that? Did you need like a defibrillator or what?
I tend not to overreact to anybody's mock draft. And the scenario that unfolded, and Larry's referring to the ESPN NFL Nation draft, you're dealt the hand based on the picks ahead of you and who's taken where, and that doesn't account for trades either. So I think you would probably agree with me that the Saints are not going to take a quarterback at 16 or 19. I think you would agree with me. But I also believe there is a possibility they could take a quarterback in round 2 or 3, and that would not surprise me at all.
I think it would be a mistake if the Saints took a quarterback at 16 or 19. I'm not putting anything past them, but I think it would be a mistake. Now, if they feel like, man, we like Sam Howell in round 2, someone like that, or Matt Corral falls in round 2.
Right.
And I don't think that's such a bad plan, because you look at the guys at the top of the depth chart, one's under a 2-year deal, one is under a 1-year deal. And, I think you probably look at some of these quarterbacks, and Howell's probably higher thought of than Ian Book and things of that nature. And so I would, like I said, it would be a mistake to me if they took one at 16 or 19, but I wouldn't frown upon it too badly if it were Corral or Howell on day 2.
Larry, a last thing. I do believe the Saints are going to take a running back at some point in this draft, and they have to. Where do you believe that they will take a running back, and if so, where do you think that could or should happen?
We'll agree it's not day 1, because, no running back might be taken day 1.
Right.
I think they wait, maybe their 3rd-round pick late. I wish I had a really good name for you. I don't in terms of that, because I just don't feel like the running back class is really that highly regarded. You have Breece Hall and you have Kenneth Walker, and those guys. If someone like Kenneth Walker fell to them in round 3, I think he would fit. But we do know that they're going to need someone eventually to replace Mark Ingram. So they have to take a look at that. And it's just, I feel like it's just light in terms of running back. And day 3 would probably be a more likely option than day 2.
He is Larry Holder on Twitter at Larry Holder. I love the draft. It's just where rosters are made and transformed over the course of 3 days, and it all starts tomorrow. We appreciate it, man. Thanks.
All right, buddy. Talk to you later.
All right, be well. It is After Further Review. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. Be sure to ask about the Shaw Bills credit card. Now, they'll probably make it available to you whenever you go in there. But remember, you Get the Shawbills credit card. It's $50 off your first purchase, no matter what it is. I mean, an oil change costs you $50. Use your Shawbills credit card. You basically get an oil change for free the first time you use it. Or, of course, if you're buying tires, great way to knock $50 off the price of the tires you're buying. It's at Shawbills. ShawBillsTire.com to find the location nearest you. With 17 locations across South Louisiana, you're never far. Bumper-to-bumper auto service, name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they treat you like family, just the way they've done it for more than 50 years. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling. All right, it's after further review. Bourbon Dictionary with Taylor Calandro in about 15 minutes. By the way, there are not one but two amazing whiskey raffles that are wrapping up tomorrow and Friday. Taylor and our friends at Calandro's are working with Ducks Unlimited on theirs, which ends, and Bowie Outfitters, which ends on Friday. The Mary Bird Perkins Janny King raffle ends today. They set their goal at $100,000. It was initially, they wanted to clear last year's number, I believe 70,000 or something. Well, they zoomed past that. They're closing in on $100,000. Today's the last day to buy tickets. Like the drawing is tomorrow. So this is the cutoff to buy your tickets. So you can get the links on Facebook. Again, I think it's the BR Bourbon raffle. Now of course I'm trying to remember it off the top. But if you search Janny King or Mary Bird Perkins Bourbon raffle, you'll see it on Facebook and get your tickets. They're trying to raise $100,000. It's incredible that they're on. They had already passed $90,000 by the time we started the show today. So we're excited about that and happy to help raise a lot of money for a couple of great causes. So Bourbon Dictionary in about 15 minutes. We'll go around the SEC next, and in addition to Brian Kelly's staff. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit dreams come true. And this year, we need your help more than ever.
We've interviewed these incredible kids, and each and every one of their stories brings tears to our eyes.
To have a dream granted means more to these families than you'll ever know.
And it wouldn't be possible without your help.
Dreams Come True has been hit hard by the events of the past year.
So we ask for your support in helping this incredible cause.
Our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, Front-to-Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to front-to-backboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front-to-Back Boat Service.
Hey, look what I found!
The motivation I needed to live healthier.
My new favorite sport.
I found my groove.
I found I'm part fish.
My second win when I needed it most.
I found more than a gym.
The affordable childcare this mom needed.
Time for myself.
We found our why.
Have you found yours?
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day, it's so much more.
Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Brian Kelly's added a familiar name to his staff. You probably saw this on social media last night. If you didn't, former LSU running back Nick Brissett tweeted, I'm excited to join Brian Kelly's staff as the Director of Alumni Relations and High School Outreach. It's been a dream of mine to come back and work where it all started. #Go Tigers. So Nick Brissett joins Brian Kelly's staff. Brissett, of course, set the LHSAA record for career rushing touchdowns in high school during his time there at U High. Came to LSU as a 4-star running back. He was a top 150. Actually, he was number 180 overall in the 247 composite, number 16 running back in the country. And Brissett kind of bided his time. He had the unfortunate ACL injury early in his career, bided his time. Then in 2018, got his chance as a senior. I mean, you remember in 2017, there was sort of the ugly statement by Ogeron for the Troy game where he said, I didn't think the third-string running back should have been carrying the ball. But credit to Brissett. Brissett persevered. He overcame injury. He got his chance as a senior in 2018, had a 1,000-yard season, and has been a really good ambassador for LSU. Nick went undrafted, caught on with the Patriots and then the Lions as part of their practice squad, and then was released. I think got a short stint in the XFL, but playing days are done, and now is back in Baton Rouge. And I like this a lot, and you've seen each coach do something similar as far as outreach. So when you look at it, Director of Alumni Relations, which is so big to keep your football alums involved in the program. Look at how impactful it was this weekend, having Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and guys like Thad Moss, all these guys in town for the spring game. And then to have Tyrann Mathieu really over the last month being as engaged as he has been. When you have a guy who's a former player that's liked and respected that runs point on that to make sure that the alumni feel engaged with the program, that's important. It's very important. It's something that, quite honestly, Les Miles lost touch with as former players didn't really feel engaged or welcomed. And then Ed Ogeron was the polar opposite. Ogeron made everything just completely wide open to alumni. I mean, to where alumni were doing the Tiger Walk before every game. I mean, any player that wanted to go to practice anytime could just show up. Well, Brian Kelly has kind of reversed course on that, where if you want to go, you got to, like, for former players to be involved, they got to call and schedule an appointment, stuff like that. This helps. This helps facilitate that, so you keep good vibes with that lineage of the LSU football program and linked in with the new structure of Brian Kelly. So I like it a lot. Look, Ed Ogeron brought Kevin Falk in before he was the running backs coach on staff in a similar role. I mean, look at the basketball. Will Wade brought Tasman Mitchell in for something similar in the basketball side. Tasman's still on staff. It matters. When you need to plug into the high school ranks, in a high school outreach and be connected with high school athletes and high school coaches, having a guy that knows the landscape matters. So, yeah, I think this is great. Brissett has always been a respected, well-liked guy, and so a really heads-up move there by Brian Kelly to bring him back into the fold. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com, 288-8138, 288-8138, or reliefwindows.com. Pretty excited. I'm going to get my look at the new Relief Windows headquarters tomorrow morning. Going to go see my buddy Brandon Holly, check out the new digs. If you haven't done so yet, they're on Airline. If you're going south on Airline into Prairieville, you pass up 42, and it's on the right. You can't miss it. Big, beautiful building there with the Relief Windows sign on it. Or just give them a buzz, 288-8138, 288-8138. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank or vinyl siding. They do it all. It's Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Okay, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Excellence in imaging solutions. The Kentucky Wildcats.
Another get for John Calipari. This time, Illinois State transfer Antonio Reeves, one of the best scorers in the portal, committed to Kentucky. Reeves chose the Wildcats over Nebraska, Xavier, Oregon, and DePaul. He's a 6'6" shooting guard who averaged 20 points and nearly 4 rebounds last year, shooting 39% from three.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Gamecocks men's basketball team also landed a commitment, this time from Coastal Carolina transfer Abrima Diba on Wednesday afternoon. Averaged 8 points a game last year for the Chanticleers. Originally from Sweden, he started 57 games over the past 2 seasons. 6'6", 205-pound guard. Carolina's also landed transfer commitments from Hayden Brown from the Citadel and Michi Johnson from Ohio State.
The Auburn Tigers.
Of course, we know Jabari Smith and Walker Kessler have declared for the NBA draft. 2 more are now joining that duo. Alan Flanagan and Dylan Cardwell are early entrants for the draft among 283 players who have declared early for the draft. Like, they do know this is just a 2-round draft, right? Flanagan was viewed by many as a potential first-rounder, partially tore his Achilles in the preseason this past year. If Cardwell decides to return to Auburn, he would serve as a backup to a newly signed 5-star forward Johan Traore, who, of course, at one time was an LSU commit.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
And Tennessee tight end Julian Nixon has entered the transfer portal. 6'3", 235-pounder from Atlanta. He was a 4-star signee in the 2021 class. As a freshman, did not appear in any games. He redshirted. Co-starters Jacob Warren and Princeton Fant return to Tennessee next season, so they are loaded in the tight end room, and that means they are down 1 spot. On the diamond last night, Texas A&M's home game against Sam Houston was canceled due to weather. Georgia, no issues with Georgia State. Bulldogs were a 16-1 winner in their tune-up before they head to Baton Rouge. Kentucky beat Dayton by double digits, 12-1 in Lexington. Tennessee 10-1 over Xavier, as we saw a lot of lopsided scores. Auburn went on the road and beat Jacksonville State 8-4. Bama, no issues with Samford. They win at 9-3. In the Governor's Cup, or whatever they call it, when Ole Miss and Mississippi State play the non-conference neutral site game in Pearl, Mississippi, Ole Miss beat Mississippi State 5-2 in that one. Arkansas struggled against Central Arkansas, but walked it off in 10 innings, 2-1. The 5th-ranked Razorbacks were a winner. Missouri lost at Missouri State 3-2, and of course LSU lost in New Orleans to UNO 9-4. There you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales, service after the sale. That's what you get at Gulf Coast Office Products. And remember, with warehouses in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, the North Shore, and Lafayette, they can get to you same day or worst case scenario by 10 a.m. the next day. So if you have issues with your office equipment, don't be offline long. Trust Gulf Coast Office Products. They're a national leader among Savin dealers, but they service all different models. Gulf Coast Office Products. GCOPnet.com, the official office equipment provider of the LSU Tigers, the New Orleans Saints, the New Orleans Pelicans, and of the Raging Cajuns. All right, glad to have you aboard with us here. Taylor Calandro will join us next for a little Bourbon Dictionary. Got your booze questions, get them in. You know how. Email me, tweet me, jump in the YouTube chat, or text me in the 225 at 396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Bourbon Dictionary with Taylor Calandro is next.
AFR.
Y'all, it is spring. April showers bring May flowers, but if you want those May flowers in April, it's easy. Just go to Clegg's Nursery. Any of their 4 locations, Sigourney Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. They have full greenhouses with flowers arriving daily. The most popular plant, the most popular flower so far has been the Peggy Martin roses. That's been the hot plant this spring. They received a shipment last Thursday. They were sold out on Friday. It's incredible. The next shipment is arriving tomorrow on Thursday. So you can absolutely go check out the Peggy Martin roses. If you're trying to get your hands on some, they will have a shipment at Clegg's tomorrow, Thursday. So get them by any of the 4 Clegg's Nursery locations. Sieg and Airline, LA 16 in Dedham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Also been sold out of Satsumas since early in the spring, and they're going to get a new shipment this week. I'm telling you, the best selection is at Clegg's Nursery.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, Hunt, and Hill, the early line. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, wrapping up hour number 1. Time to talk booze. Taylor Calandro joins us, wine and spirits director from over at Calandro's. How are you, dude?
Good, man. What's up?
Another day. Hey, by the way, do you have us on speaker?
No.
Okay. That was just weird. It sounded like we were kind of distant there. That's way better. Hey, real quick, I'm going to ask you what's new, but I want to plug first the Ducks Unlimited raffle. I'm pulling up the graphic real quick, but give us the details for those that are still interested and haven't gotten their tickets yet.
So you can get tickets at dubourbonraffle.com, dubourbonraffle.com. You can look at the full list. I think they have like 120 bottles. This is going to be at Boot Outfitters on Friday at 5. It starts at 5 with a little tasting. Me and my dad will be there with a bunch. I think we're going to have like 150 different whiskeys.
Wow.
We're tasting. And some other stations. I think Walk-On's going to be there with some light food and stuff. And they're going to have a big silent auction, and they're also doing like little separate drawings for Pappy and a couple or maybe just one full set of Blantons, actually.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, all the information's on the website, but if you haven't seen the list, go look at the list. The list is spectacular. So check it out. You can buy tickets online. I think ticket sales online end tomorrow night, and you can buy tickets at the door at Bowie on Friday up until 7 p.m., and you don't have to be present to win either.
Okay. So. DUBourbonraffle.com. DUBourbonraffle.com is in Ducks Unlimited. So DUBourbonraffle.com to go buy your tickets. So great. It's look, if you love whiskey and you're trying to collect, their list is spectacular. So go check it out. All right, we're going to get to questions for Taylor as we always do. First things first, what's new?
I don't know if I've talked about this yet, but we did get some Jameson and Ginger pre-mixed like cans, RTDs. I talk about Jameson and Ginger Ale all the time.
Yeah.
But we have them in 4-packs now. Jameson Ginger with lime. We have those, and I forgot to mention that a couple weeks ago, but figured I'd mention that today. Okay. And bourbon-wise, it's been a slow week, so nothing really new to report.
All right, well, let's get some questions in here. Jay Butcher said, ask Taylor, what's a bourbon that I can find similar in style to E.H. Taylor small batch? Any small batches that you'd compare?
That you can find?
No, that's the tricky part, right?
Let me come back to that.
All right. Chad Guidry said, have you had Good Earth Bourbon by Bayou Terrebonne Distillery? What are your thoughts?
That is the first time I've heard of that. Oh, man. What's it called? Good Earth from Terrebonne?
Good Earth, yeah.
Boom. That is the first time I've heard of that distillery. I didn't know they were putting one down there.
Let's see. Another one said, what are the best non-alcoholic liquors for us recovering drinkers? This is probably not the best segment for you if you're trying to kick the bottle.
Yeah, man, soft drinks. I have no clue.
Let's see.
Coffee.
Drink coffee.
Become a coffee connoisseur. This is a good question. I used to actually watch a show where this guy went all over the world tracking down all this coffee and stuff. Coffee is very much like whiskey. A lot of people don't know that. There's different beans everywhere, and there's coffee people out there.
I believe
coffee.
There's people who collect oil. I mean, like olive oil and stuff. Oh yeah, they're out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Quentin Breakbill said, I got a bottle of. Help me with this. Is it? I always mispronounce it. It's a Scotch. Glenmorangie. Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
All right, Glenmorangie. Extremely rare. It says extremely rare. 18 years. Not a whiskey drinker. Is it any good?
It is a very good bottle, and I'm assuming the reason he's asking is it's very inexpensive for an 18-year-old Scotch. I think it used to be around $100. It's not more than that if it is now, but it used to. You could get it for $100, and I think it's still right around that. I'd have to check that, but yeah, for an 18-year-old liquid, $100 is hard to beat.
Jeb said, are there any special release or allocated whiskeys during the summertime?
Man, there is allocated whiskey always. It's always floating around. It's a lot, and this is a good question. I've actually never gotten asked this question.
Oh boy, Jeb.
At the beginning of the year, it's slow. We don't get a lot of stuff. This time now, they do a lot of spring releases. They will sprinkle a few in the summer. It's a little slower time too, but in the fall it is all out more until the end of the year. So, yeah, I mean it's kind of a wave. It seems like it's slow to start the year. Spring they do some releases. Summer slows down, and then the fall is 100 miles an hour.
Chris Ploche said, ask Taylor, how does staves affect flavor?
So the staves or the wood, obviously, the liquid as the temperature fluctuates, and there's a lot of different factors, but the liquid actually goes in and out of the wood in the barrels. It does that the whole time it's aging, and I don't know the name of the process or whatever, but
Aging.
so it goes in and out of there, and that's where it picks up all that flavor. There's tannins and all the lovely amino acids that you get from that kind of stuff too. So that's where all your flavor comes from. Most people don't know that, or I shouldn't say most, a lot of people don't know that whiskey goes into the barrel absolutely clear. It is 100% clear. All of that color in bourbon and American whiskey is wood.
And if you go to the any distillery or like Sazerac House, you can see that. All right, I'm down to like 10 seconds. So we'll see you next week. Thanks as always.
All right, Matt, thanks.
Muse, I need you to hit the button. All right, hour number 2 is coming up. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. Locations from sea to shining sea. 29 calibration labs across 11 different states. And with Michelli, what we're talking about here is making your business run more efficiently. At Michelli, for 75 years, their slogan has been, we show the world what measurement can do. So if you have need for calibrating devices, and right now you're just not efficient because you're packaging up devices and shipping them out, and it's taken 8 to 10 weeks to get things calibrated that should take a week to 10 days, call Michelli. Go to Michelli.com. Find that location nearest you. ISO 17025 accreditation is available. Their track system allows you 24/7, 365 access to all of your calibration certificates. It makes you more efficient. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement, celebrating 75 years. Look them up online at Michelli.com.
Spring clean your garage with a newer pre-owned vehicle from Corval Toyota, where you never pay over MSRP. There's no markups, no gains. So reserve yours today. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Happy Town, USA.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit dreams come true. And this year, we need your help more than ever.
We've interviewed these incredible kids, and each and every one of their stories brings tears to our eyes.
To have a dream granted means more to these families than you'll ever know.
And it wouldn't be possible without your help.
Dreams Come True has been hit hard by the events of the past year.
So we ask for your support in helping this incredible cause.
Our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I'm Christine Lisi. This is what you need to know. A pair of key contributors for the Bulls sidelined for a must-win in Game 5 against the Bucks tonight in that first-round NBA playoff series. 7 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Alex Caruso sidelined by concussion protocol. Zach LaVine in the health and safety protocols for a third time. We'll see tonight why Chicago will miss LaVine if they move on from him this offseason, explains our Jay Williams.
This is a guy who is 25, 5, and 5. As it averages, okay? He's a 2-time NBA All-Star. He was actually on track to become an All-NBA player this season before he tweaked his knee in January.
Jay of Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. LaVine will be an unrestricted free agent after this season. Warriors forward Andre Iguodala ruled out of tonight's potential clincher in Game 5 against the Nuggets. He's out at least a week with a neck injury. That means he will miss the remainder of that series. Utah's Donovan Mitchell declared himself available for tomorrow's must-win in Game 6 against the Mavericks. The MRI on his hamstring came back negative yesterday.
Feeling great starts with a great shave, and great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. That's Barbasol Shaving Cream, an American classic for over 100 years. You're looking good, America. You're shaving with Barbasol.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
I am sweating.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there. Make it a good one. Kendall Rogers later this hour. Sean Salisbury next hour. I want to talk quarterbacks with Sean Salisbury. I don't know that I wouldn't be surprised by anything that the Saints do. It's just what we've come to expect in the draft. When Mickey Loomis met with reporters earlier today, he talked about mostly the trade with the Eagles. Play that first one if you would, Muse.
Yeah, I mean, we look at them, they look at them, and we just come to, an agreement. Look, for us, it's an opportunity to get, I think, another good player a year ahead of time for a value that we liked. I will be surprised if quarterback is one of those two picks at 16 or 19. I will be surprised. I would be fall over stunned if they packaged those two picks together to move up to, say, take Malik Willis. I wouldn't be surprised if they packaged 16 and 19 and went into the top 10 to take, if it's Evan Neal or one of the top offensive linemen in this draft that they loved. That wouldn't surprise me. I would be okay with that. If you feel like you're getting your franchise left tackle for 2 1s, I'm good with that. A guy that's going to be your bookend opposite Ramchick for the next decade, fine. I would be very surprised to take a quarterback in round 1. I will not be surprised at all if they use the 49th pick or the 98th pick and take a quarterback. And I know there's this idea that they'd be taking a project in 2 consecutive years. I just don't exactly view it that way. Ian Book in the 4th round, that's a project. If it's Sam Howell in round 2, coming into this season, Sam Howell was right there in contention to be the number 1 overall pick. Now, he didn't have a great year at North Carolina. His stats slipped a little bit. But, I mean, if you fall in love with that guy and his skill set, okay. Okay. Carson Strong's a big, strong-arm kid. If he's there in round 3 and you want to take him 98, okay. I'm okay with that. I feel like those two guys have a higher ceiling, more of an opportunity to be a starting quarterback in the NFL than Ian Book ever does. I think Ian Book's a career backup. Athletic, with does some nice things, but I wouldn't be surprised if you said, hey, in 3 to 5 years,
Carson Strong or Sam Howell are starting quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm not telling you they're going to be all pros, but could they be a starter in the NFL? Yeah. I mean, and maybe it's a scenario where you feel like you have a guy that ultimately becomes a valuable trade asset, the way that Jimmy Garoppolo became a trade asset for New England. I'm spitballing here, but I wouldn't be stunned if the Saints took a quarterback. I would be stunned if it was at 16 or 19. So much conversation here in the last 24 hours involving Derek Stingley, who clearly is the biggest riser in the draft. And we talked about it a bit yesterday. Matt Miller from ESPN.com had Derek Stingley going number 3 in his latest mock draft. His tweets had tons of buzz around Stingley going 3 to the Texans. Well, all of the sports books now, it's a consensus, have shifted Derek Stingley to number 3. Our friends at DraftKings, of course, they now have Derek Stingley as the favorite to be drafted number 3 overall. So that's at DraftKings. He's plus 200 to go 3rd overall. Financially, that is just so significant. I mean, I know we've walked and talked through this before, but the way the slot values work for NFL, for the NFL draft, is for every pick, you drop, it's about $1 million. So when you look at the slot values in the draft, sorry, I'm trying to pull it up here real time. When you look at the slot values for the draft, just if you're considering, for example, this was last year, okay? Trevor Lawrence at 1 got $36.8 million. Second pick was $35.2. The third pick was $34.1, then $32.9. You understand. So it drops about $1 million per pick. So, if Stingley's deal, if he goes 3, will be valued roughly $34 million in that neighborhood. A lot of the pre-draft mocks until the past 48 hours had Stingley going 12 to the Vikings. Well, last year, the 12th pick was valued at $17.1 million. Think about that difference from 3 at $34 million to 12 at $17 million. I mean, you're talking about that's doubling your value. It's $17 million. And I'm not surprised by it because, look, sometimes there's draft buzz around a player, positive or negative, that's created by agents. I'm not saying it's exclusively happen, but sometimes it does happen. Get ready for it. This is going to happen in the next 24 hours. Every single year, in the 24 hours leading up to the draft, somebody leaks that a player had a dilute sample at the combine. They failed a drug test at the combine, right? Every year this happens. It happened to Zach Bond 2 years ago. Why do you think he was on the board for the Saints in round 3? Happened to Zach Mettenberger. Dilute sample. I mean, Mettenberger, before the knee injury, was getting round 1, maybe early round 2 buzz. Ends up going in round 6. So you expect that. And maybe, I'm not saying that this would happen with Stingley, but the injury, coupled with, whispers about him maybe not being a great team guy, whatever, started to see him slip a little bit. And people forgot how great a prospect he was. But this is a report from Jeremy Fowler at ESPN. And he wrote, Stingley's stellar pro day helped his cause. And he came across as polished in team interviews. He got knocked for erratic play over 10 games the past 2 seasons, due in part to injury. Quote, teams needed the pro day to confirm what they know he can be athletically, and he did that, a scout with an AFC team told me. Added an exec from another AFC team, quote, let's not complicate this. He's a really good football player, end quote. I mentioned dilute sample. The Laramie Tunsil Bong video, which, by the way, he's making an NFT of that and donating it to charity, which is pretty cool. I would love it if he would make the NFT on the GameCoin platform. But either way, the point remains, and too many LSU fans fell into this trap as well. Too many LSU fans thought Derek Stingley quit on the team. And that's probably you. And I'm here to tell you, as much as I've told you over the last 2 years, that you're wrong. Eventually, what happened to Stingley before the Mississippi State game in 2020, the season opener, eventually that story will come out. I'm not going to tell it, but eventually that story is going to come out. And you're going to realize why he was slowed early at the start of the 2020 season. Now you realize like he had foot surgery, a legit issue, like, and actually played through it for the first month of this season. You start to realize, oh, he really was hurt. And when you've known Derek Stingley and been aware of him for as long as we all have, because, I mean, Stingley's been in the spotlight since he was a sophomore at Dunham. I mean, we've had Big Sting coming on this show since Derek was a freshman at Dunham. And you talk to him, you just realize he's a soft-spoken guy. Do you realize they had to basically beg him, I don't want to say force him, but to attend SEC football media days last year, and the reason was because they knew Derek was going to be up for awards, like the Bednarik and the Thorpe, and like major college football awards, potentially. Heisman. Now his season got derailed because of injury, but they're like, Derek, they had to have this conversation. Like, you got to let people get to know you a little bit, because as much as it sucks, a big part of those national awards is you got to have to lobby for them. I mean, some of it's a popularity deal. So you have to go be on display for the media at SEC Media Days, which is why he went. He's just not a real vocal guy, and that's okay. Like, some guys are more quiet leader type, lead by example. Some aren't going to be the get in the middle of the hype huddle and yell and scream. Maybe that's not him. Okay. His play does a lot of talking, doesn't it? I just think so many people got confused by a lot of that narrative started, and people just started believing it. And as soon as Derek Stingley got in the one-on-ones with teams, they realized he was polished, how good of a kid he is, great family, all that sort of stuff. And when he was healthy and he went and tested at Pro Day, it was like, all right, let's not confuse this. Dude's awesome. He's a great player. He's going to be a lockdown, perennial Pro Bowl, all-pro cornerback for a decade plus in the NFL. He's the best cornerback in this draft. Take him. And he's going to go 3 overall to Houston. That's awesome. So and because of the work because he took that time off, he got his foot right, he got in shape, tested well, and answered the questions like he did, he made the right decision. And it likely is going to end up making him in the neighborhood of $15 to $17 million otherwise that he wouldn't have made had he continued to see his stock fall. So it'll be official tomorrow, but we're excited about tomorrow. It's going to be a great day. Our NFL draft coverage is brought to you by Rouse's, and we'll be at Don Juan Cigar Bar. And remember, we're kind of morphing our draft coverage and companion show and a Pelicans watch party. So if you want to watch the Pels game, Don Juan will have the sound for the Pelicans game on. So we make that like a Pels watch party. Tip off at 6:30. Our whole staff will be there. We'll be doing the companion show for the draft. We'll be watching the Pels game. And then the Pels game should be wrapping up about the time the Saints pick. So we could have a really awesome night. Make plans to be there with us tomorrow at Don Juan Cigar Bar in Town Center for our Pels game watch and, of course, our companion show. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad to have you aboard with us here. We'll knock out a quick break. Got to shift things a little bit. Kendall Rogers was supposed to be with us here. He had a bump to the end of the hour, so let's kind of bump everything up a little bit. And Sean Salisbury, 1 hour from right now. Glad you're with us here. Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. Don't you move.
AFR.
Better coverage for less money. That's Insurance Network of Louisiana. I get people ask me all the time, hey, what's that insurance thing you always talk about? The network thing. It's Insurance Network of Louisiana. They're online at lainsurance.net, lainsurance.net, lainsurance.net. You can click quotes at the top of the page, and they will shop independently for free to find you better coverage for less money. We all have to have insurance. Unfortunately, too many of us are overpaying and underinsured. If I asked you the question, when was the last time you shopped for your insurance? I think you know the answer. We all know the answer. Never, because we don't do it. Our friend, our neighbor, the insurance guy has our policy, but you don't ever shop to see if you're paying a fair price or if you're properly covered. Let Insurance Network of Louisiana do that for you for free. They'll shop dozens of the top-rated companies in the world to see if they can get you better coverage for less money. So stop overpaying to be underinsured. 293-0450, 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Bayou Ford has 0% for 60 months on new Ford F-150s, plus $500 bonus cash. We have new 2022 F-150s on our lot now. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, baseball Tigers lost last night. We'll talk to Kendall Rogers in about 20 minutes from right now. Look ahead to LSU, their weekend against Georgia. Jonathan Cannon's back for the Georgia Bulldogs. If you're not familiar, he's their ace. I mean, he leads the SEC in ERA. He's been awesome. Had an injury that kept him out for a couple of weeks. He returned this past week, and LSU's going to have their handful. So, look, losing last night to UNO stinks. It's never fun to lose a midweek game. I'm not going to go down the whole midweek games don't matter route again. We all know the truth. Like, it's your RPI, despite having a miserable pre-conference schedule, your RPI was 20 coming out of this weekend because of the SEC games you play. I know I sound like a broken record, but like we incessantly have to have this conversation every year because some people just still don't seem to get it. But take care of business in league play, and none of that matters. So you have a great opportunity. Look, there were some lineup changes last night. I'm not making excuses. I mean, it was a sleepy game, and you made some defensive errors. You were allowed 4 runs in the second. You walked 8 guys, 2 errors in that second inning, 1 on Joe Bear, 1 on Jordan Thompson. You had a wild pitch, which got away from Travinsky, allowed a run to score from third. I've always said if it touches the catcher's mitt, it should be a pass ball, not a wild pitch. I mean, anyway, you are obviously the catching spot is a liability right now. We all know it. It's not even worth having that conversation anymore. McManus is going to be your catcher this weekend and should be. and your lineup will go back to what it is. Pearson will be in right, and Stevenson will be in left, unless if Gavin Dugas is available to return. And you hope that LSU really locks in because they have an awesome opportunity this weekend. You're at 10-8 in the league, and if you're able to go out there and take 2 out of 3 from Georgia, and you just keep gaining ground, keep winning series, you keep building that resume for the selection committee, I'm here to tell you, if LSU gets to 17 conference wins, they're going to be a regional host site. And they've got a great opportunity to do that. You've got very winnable series at home against Ole Miss and on the road against Alabama. I know Bama's been better than we all anticipated, but those are still winnable series. And Vanderbilt isn't as daunting as it once looked. So, even if you look at where you are right now and you're at 10-8 in the league, if you're able to get 2 against Georgia, if you're able to take 2 against Ole Miss, 2 against Bama, even 1 against Vandy, that puts you at 17. So you can get there, but you got to take care of business and take care of opportunities ahead like this weekend against Georgia. We'll preview more of LSU and Georgia when we get closer to Friday. Tomorrow is going to be so much about the draft, obviously, but I'm not going to overreact to what happened last night against UNO. LSU didn't swing it particularly well. They walked 8 guys. The biggest disappointment is that Ty Floyd didn't put together back-to-back solid outings. He was so good a week ago when he went 5 innings, struck out 8, didn't walk anybody. He had his off-speed stuff working, and you really looked and said, man, this could be the start of him sort of establishing himself as that number 4 starter. And then you give him the ball last night in that midweek starting role, and he goes an inning and a third, and he just kind of fell apart. He allowed 3 hits, walked a couple guys in that second inning. And then, they gave the ball to Jacob Hasty, who's, coming on as well and establishing more of a role as a left-handed stopper out of that bullpen. So a bummer to see LSU lose that game. Again, irrelevant in the grand scheme. Just go take care of business this weekend against Georgia. What a weekend it's going to be. Of course, LSU played Georgia on Friday, and then Saturday they played Georgia at 2 o'clock, and then the Garth Brooks concert Saturday night in Tiger Stadium. Everyone is saying this is going to be the biggest traffic nightmare in LSU history. And it makes a lot of sense because for football games, you got the people that always leave early to try to beat the traffic. You got the people that leave early because they don't want to be up late. Whatever it is, you always have the people that leave early for football games. For a Garth Brooks concert, nobody's leaving early. You can put 100,000 people in there. They're all going to be leaving at the same time. And then it's a baseball weekend and a softball home weekend, and man, it is it's gonna be a real fun weekend, no doubt. But traffic's gonna be a nightmare. By the way, our buddies over at Walk-Ons on Saturday are hosting an event before and after the concert. So if you go to Walk-On social media, you see the Chase Tyler Band is going to play. They'll have Go DJ after the game as well, or after the Garth Brooks concert as well. So instead of sitting in traffic, you can get by Walk-On. So Dustin and the gang over there, the GM at Walk-Ons on Burbank, of course, Brandon Landry and the gang, awesome people. They do have a VIP set up if you want that, which opens at 11, from 11 to 5. So Walk-Ons Burbank, if you're looking for something to do before the Garth Brooks concert on Saturday, our friends at Walk-Ons will have a big to-do going on there with live music and food and booze and all that stuff. So make a day of it. All right, let's see. We're going to kind of flip the order of what we normally do here on Wednesdays because Kendall Rogers is going to join us in the last segment here of hour number 2. So right now, let's do overrated, underrated.
Overrated or underrated?
I personally think he's criminally underrated.
Presented by Celevate. Celevate is a revolutionary health-aware approach to energy, focus, and mood enhancement.
Yes?
I mean, you know how the segment starts.
Well, you have to start the segment.
Okay, we're going to do overrated, underrated.
Right.
Which is sponsored by Celevate.
Yes.
And don't you have one over there?
Celevate is very good.
Don't you? Yeah, but don't you have one?
You know what else
there?
I noticed also? The yellow Celevate can, the lemon ginger, does not serve us well here. Because when I have the lemon ginger, which is a fine flavor, you can't read Celevate here on the can like you can on this wonderful Mandarin Orange label. I still say, however, Watermelon Blast is the best. Elderberry Bliss is also very good. Celevate, Celevate, Celevate.com. Don't just hydrate. Salivate.
That's what we wanted right there.
So good.
That's what we're looking for each time. Followed by the slurp. Got to have the slurp, too.
So good.
So good.
There's your slurp muse. There it is.
Overrated or underrated?
Does a slurp sound like a puff to you, Muse?
What do you mean? What's a...
I think you know exactly what I mean.
Like Cheeto Puff?
Hey, Paul, you think he knows what I mean?
He knows exactly what you mean.
Yeah, that's adorable. We haven't done that in a while.
That's exactly what I mean.
No, it's a slurp. Does a puff even really have a sound?
You tell me, Panama Red.
See, that's not a puff, though. That's more of a suck. That's.
You tell me, Panama Red.
That's not. I mean, I don't think a puff actually has a sound.
When you puff on the Magic Dragon?
Nope. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't me. That ain't me. Overrated or underrated?
I heard you were more of a gummy guy.
No, that ain't me either.
Shrooms.
No. Ooh. No. Overrated or underrated? The Game Show Network.
I don't know what that is.
It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a network devoted directly to game, like specifically to game shows.
Overrated.
Okay. Any particular reason why? Do you just not like game shows? I mean, no, nothing.
If I haven't even heard of it, the fact that it's on the air probably means that it's not doing super great. In theory, my guess is these are reruns of old game shows.
They have their own originals as well, yeah.
Oh.
But, I mean, sure, yeah, there's reruns. Why not?
If you're repurposing old content, fine. If you are spending money to generate new content on a network nobody knows exists, except probably like my grandmother who loves to watch The Price is Right every day.
It's a good one.
No, I'm going to go ahead and say that you're overrated.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
Go away. It's fair. Totally fair. Overrated or underrated? French fries.
So I really think it depends on what type of French fries we're talking about here.
Okay.
Like crinkle cut fries.
Ooh, those are good.
I'm going to disagree.
You don't like crinkle cut fries, really?
A little too fat. On the steak fries.
Oh, so good.
Overrated.
Gosh.
Not good with them there. I like curly Q's.
Oh, I mean, come on, elite.
I like Cajun batter fries from Popeyes.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Skinny fries, like fast food fries from like McDonald's or something like that. You know who's got great fries? Capital City Grill right down the street from us.
They do.
Great fries. A good plate of fries is hard to beat. As popular as a French fry is, I would say in that respect, it's still underrated. But it really depends on what kind of French fry we're talking about, because not all French fries are created equal.
You like waffle fries? I feel like that's a point of contention.
Waffle fries, dynamic. Love a waffle fry.
Okay.
Love the size and the texture of a waffle fry. I love that I can take multiple bites into the side of it. I have a great enjoyment of eating waffle fries, yes.
French fries are so... God, I love French fries. Overrated or underrated? Stadium color coordination, like checker Kneeland or a whiteout, the blackout, the gold game, things of that nature.
I'd say it's overrated. I'm not a fuddy-duddy. I'm fine with you doing it. But I think when things are organic or fan-generated, they can be very cool. For example, 9/11, I'll give them credit. Texas A&M did one of the coolest things I've ever seen. They did red, white, and blue on the decks of Kyle Field. It was completely a fan origin thing. That was how Checker Kneeland started as well. What the Pels are going to do, putting a red shirt on everybody's chair, that's overrated. Don't get me wrong. Looks cool on TV. I get why you do it, the unison, all that sort of stuff, but it's also fabricated. You don't do that you're doing it because it's a playoff game. It's not just them. It's like that's what everybody does in the NBA. Same with the white towels in Major League Baseball. Like in the postseason, everybody gets a towel. They all wave. Like, you don't wave towels every game. It's not your thing, so don't do it. Like, it's fabricated, so I don't buy it. That part is overrated.
Overrated or underrated? John Mayer.
Underrated. Horribly underrated. Miserably underrated as a guitarist. One of the best guitarists of this generation. I'm not a giant fan of his music, but as a guitarist, John Mayer is spectacular and criminally underrated as a guitarist.
Overrated or underrated? Oysters.
Now are we talking about what kind of oysters?
Well, okay, I mean...
And by the way, you said chur. There's no chur in oyster. It's oyster.
Oyster. I don't like
oyster.
that.
I know you don't. But you mispronounce it. You say oyster.
It's just the way it happens.
No,
I mean, yeah, that's organic.
And you're mispronouncing it.
Not on purpose. It's just
I'm not saying
how
you're
it
doing it on
happens.
purpose. I'm just pointing out that you are mispronouncing the word oyster.
Ugh.
O-Y-S-T. It's not an oyster.
Yeah.
There's no C-H.
There's
it's not
not,
a C-H-U-R.
but, ugh.
It's S-T-E-R. It's stir. Stir.
I don't like that. Anyway, raw, fried, charbroiled, you can do all of them if you want.
Oysters are... I'm not the biggest fan of oysters, but I do believe that they're underrated because they're very versatile. They're a very versatile seafood. Most people just default to shrimp, I think.
Very good.
But an oyster, I think because you can do so many different things with it, like you can with a shrimp as well. I think they're similar in that respect, but they're often overlooked because people default to shrimp, but oysters are very good. Not oysters, which those stink.
Pineapple shrimp, boiled shrimp, shrimp creole,
Shrimp stew,
shrimp cocktail,
shrimp gumbo.
That's what I got today. That's overrated or underrated.
Presented by Celevate. Don't just hydrate, people. Celevate. Available locally at Rouse's, Mathern's, and other fine retailers, or online at Celevate.com. Don't just hydrate. Celevate. Okay, Kendall Rogers in 14 minutes from right now. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Muse will do Tigers and the pros. We got Sean Salisbury in 45 minutes from right now. We are rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling. Barbara Ann. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR. Why was that? Why did that one tickle you? Why was that one so good?
I don't know, but it was.
All right. Well, glad that I could make you laugh today, Muse. Oh, I know why. 11 minutes. He's got a little bit of the funnies right now, doesn't he? I get it. I should have been using these 30 seconds to tell you about River City's 1 hour air. So let me just bash you over the head with it real quick. Look for the big yellow trucks and vans all over town. If you need AC service, call the best. Call River City's 1 hour air. 752-0001, 752-0001. They work nights, holidays, weekends. They never charge you extra to come out. They're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Preseason AC tune-up. Get this done. Don't go into the summer months without having your AC tuned up. River City's 1 hour air. 752-0001.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Hey, look what I found! The motivation I needed to live healthy.
My new favorite sport.
I found my groove.
I found I'm part fish.
My second win when I needed it most.
I found more than a gym.
The affordable childcare this mom needed.
Time for myself.
We found our why. Have you found yours?
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
That reminds me. Okay, do your read first.
I was about to say,
do your read first. But that reminds me. Go ahead, but I don't want to forget. Go ahead.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and the Baton Rouge Clinic bring you the Dreams Come True Radiothon. Dreams Come True is an organization designed to help grant dreams for children with life-threatening illnesses and their families. The Dreams Come True Radiothon is presented today by GoFlow in Mid-City Title. Donate today at 1045ESPN.com.
What's the deadline? You have it?
Don't have the deadline.
I think it's Friday. It's the last day.
This is the last week. Yes.
Yeah, so Friday would be the last day. 1045ESPN.com. Yo, please go donate. Dreams Come True is just an awesome organization. It's the one big company-wide fundraiser we do every year. They raise money for children with terminal or life-threatening illnesses to be able to grant dreams. And it's all the money stays in Louisiana. So please donate. 1045ESPN.com. Hit the Dreams Come True Radiothon banner right there, and you can donate. 1045ESPN.com. Just hit donate now. All right. So Gordy finally has given us the green light to buy new chairs. He literally gave Jay Parker his American Express to buy, and he texted me and said, buy new chairs. So I have full, complete autonomy to buy new chairs for this studio. Because obviously the last two times that people have tried to buy chairs for the studio, it's not gone well.
Yeah, that didn't work.
One time the chairs were not tall enough.
Yeah.
And the other time these chairs, well, they just suck.
Yeah.
And so Gordy was like, I've tried to let other people just buy new chairs. Just get the chairs you want, buy them. So this years-long battle, which is in part radio bit, but in actuality, a real thing. Like, it's, look at this. I bring my own chair. I bring my own chair in here every day from my office.
Mario Sunkter in a segment earlier today on Early Line.
Of course he did.
I mean,
so anyway, if you have suggestions, text them to me. 225-396-4400, 396-4400. That's my text line, 396-4400. I get to make the decision for the station. Me. It's my decision what we're going to buy. So if you have suggestions, text me, 396-4400. Pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, like, when are we doing this? I mean,
now, text me suggestions.
Oh,
we're going to buy, like,
good, yes.
And then we'll pick the chairs for the studio. And I really don't want anyone else's opinion on the matter. Like, I'm not going to ask you your opinion or T-Bob or Hunt or Hester or Hill or any of them. I'm not asking anybody's opinion. I don't care what they want. I don't care what they want. This is a chair-tatorship.
That was good. I like that was a good pun. I like that one.
All right. Kendall Rogers in 6 minutes. Muso, Tigers and the Pros. Like like a cheer
Tigers in the pros.
Bring it on.
They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
NBA action last night.
This isn't a cheerocracy. It's a cheertatorship.
NBA action last night. What a game between the Grizzlies and the Timberwolves. John Morant, he's pretty good.
Oh, my God.
He's pretty
Did
good.
you see the dunk?
I did.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
he's okay at the basketball.
I thought that was going overtime.
I did too.
Oh, my God.
Naz Reid, 13 minutes, shot 4 of 7. Very efficient night. 1 of 2 from 3 for a total of 9 points. Added 2 rebounds and a block to round out his night, plus 1 for Naz Reid.
I'm just looking at the dunk again.
Yeah, but Ja didn't go to
Don't care.
LSU.
I don't care.
I mean, he went to Murray State, and now LSU has the former Murray State head coach.
This is way more everything in the world, this dunk, than anything Nasri did or me saying he should have stayed, which is all true.
He should have stayed.
By the way, he's trailing Ja.
That is so good.
Nas was trailing Ja on the dunk, by the way.
Not
anyway.
like Nas was going to miss that.
I'll shut up. We got to get to Kendall. Go ahead.
Kevin Gausman last night against the Red Sox, another really solid outing. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. It was unearned. Did not walk anybody. Struck out 9. 88 pitches, 62 for strikes. Gauss got the no decision. San Diego Padres, Cincinnati Reds. Tough night for Austin Nola, unfortunately. 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. Still been a pretty solid year for him, though. Jake Fraley at the bottom of the Reds order 1 for 4 with a double. Was stranded on base after said double. Tigers Twins, that game ended in chaos. Alex Lang was not part of that. He threw a perfect inning with 2 strikeouts, 12 pitches, 8 strikes, a 2.70 ERA for Lang so far on the year. And then finally, Alex Bregman last night, really, really solid night. 1 for 3, also drew a walk, scored 2 runs. 276 average. The Astros got the win over their rival, I guess, the Texas Rangers. That's Tigers in the pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. They're online at lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Gentlemen, Mother's Day is almost here. She may not be your mom, but she is the mother of your children. So thrill her with a gift in the red box this Mother's Day. lmfj.com. Or go to either location in Baton Rouge, corporate in Bocage, or the Mall of Louisiana, or any of their 9 locations. lmfj.com. Kendall Rogers talks some baseball next. AFR.
AFR.
Rouse's is the title sponsor of our NFL draft coverage, and we are thrilled to have them aboard. Of course, tomorrow we will be at Don Juan Cigar Bar for our companion show, but all throughout the 3 days of the draft, Rouse's is our official draft sponsor. So we appreciate Rouse's for being great partners of ours. And remember, Rouse's is not only a great partner of ours, Rouse's is a great community partner. They're the official grocer of an official supermarket of LSU athletics. And also, they have an amazing selection and find ways to help make your life more convenient, like curbside pickup. How about that option? Download the Rouse's app, do your shopping. They'll go pick up all your groceries for you. When you pull up, boom, they'll bring it out to your vehicle. Makes it easier for you. They do have delivery options available as well. Rouses.com, 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 and be sure to download the Rouse's app. That's Rouse's Supermarkets, the official supermarket of LSU Athletics.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not 1, but 2 NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, Front-to-Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to front-to-backboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front-to-Back Boat Service.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorns in stock with 0% for 72 months. Shop our inventory or custom order your Ram with $2,000 bonus cash and a 1,000,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys. For those
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Let's chat with Kendall Rogers, our buddy from D1Baseball.com. Good enough to join us. Thanks, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'd be doing a lot better if Jonathan Cannon wasn't going to pitch this weekend. How has he been since his return, and what do we expect the role to be this weekend against LSU?
Well, I would like to tell your listeners a different story here, but in Jonathan Cannon's first start back from injury, all he did is threw 5 perfect innings on the road against Alabama. So
awesome.
Obviously, he was very good. I think he punched out 6 or 7 in 5 innings and didn't allow a hit and didn't walk anybody. So, I mean, that is who he is. When he was healthy, he was probably on track to be the pitcher year in college baseball, along with maybe Cooper Jerpy at Oregon State and potentially Hunter Barker at Florida. And so that gives you an idea how good he was. I think the big thing with Jonathan this year is, his fastball has been really explosive. He'll sit anywhere from 93 to 97. The biggest thing for Jonathan, though, is his slider is a plus pitch right now. And when he has that rolling, he's very difficult to hit. But tell you what, if there's one lineup that can do it, it's LSU.
Well, the flip side of it, too, Kendall, is the rest of Georgia's staff has struggled. I know they have been really just bitten by the injury bug. How does – let's say Cannon is Cannon on Friday and does what we all think he'll probably do, unfortunately. How does LSU's lineup match up with the rest of the staff they're going to see for the rest of the weekend against Georgia?
Yeah, I mean, if you're LSU, I'll be honest with you. For LSU, let's say Georgia, just hypothetical here, let's just say Georgia gets a, 3 or 4 run lead late in the game. I mean, if you're LSU, you don't want to waste too many bullets because I do think when you look at the rest of that series, Liam Sullivan on the mound, he's got a big curveball, but he's not great. And they've kind of had a revolving door at the other spot in the rotation, but their starting pitching outside of Jonathan Cannon is not great, as A&M kind of exploited in Athens a couple of weeks ago. And so I think for LSU, Jonathan Cannon is going to be Jonathan Cannon. That doesn't mean you can't beat him. But even if he beats you, you're kind of at that point almost feel like it's almost like kind of even again.
Yeah. You got your projected field of 64 out, and I'm going to be very honest with you and tell you I'm just clicking this link right now to check it because I know last week you had LSU as a 2 seed in Miami. I'm looking at it here. So you have LSU today as a 2 seed in Stillwater. So make sense of this for us, where you currently project LSU in the postseason.
Well, there can be more of a difference than going from Miami to Stillwater. That's the first thing. But
very true.
But the thing about LSU right now, and I had somebody ask me this earlier on Twitter, is LSU, as weird as this season has been, LSU controls its own destiny to be a regional host. When you look at the remaining schedule with Georgia, Alabama, and Vanderbilt, they control their own destiny. And so right now, if you're looking at a pecking order, after the 16 hosts, if you're looking for a pecking order, LSU would probably be the 19th team. You would probably have A&M as the 17. You'd have Vandy as the 18, and LSU as the 19. So, as weird as the season has been, this team is well within striking distance of being a host. They could finish really strong, play really well in Hoover, and even get to a top 8. So, there are a lot of different, things that can happen with this team right now. But, they're still within reach of kind of reaching those preseason goals we put on this club.
So what do you think is okay? So I don't think that this team has it in them to get to a top 8. I'm not even going to set that bar. If it happens, I'll be wonderfully surprised. What do you think is the number that LSU, or the path for LSU to be a regional host?
I think if they can get to 16 wins overall,
okay,
that's including the SEC tournament, I think they can get them in position. With that said, it does matter what Vanderbilt and A&M do. So, LSU's played A&M. A&M has a head-to-head in Baton Rouge. That could end up playing a really big part late in the season. But, if you're LSU fans, which I don't think they'll have trouble with this, but you want A&M to lose, and you want Vanderbilt to lose. Unfortunately, they play this weekend.
Yeah. Well, you're wishing one of them. So you mean losing to UNO last night didn't end the season?
Yeah. We don't need to go down this road again. Are we ready to fire Jay yet?
No, let's not do it. Let's punt that conversation.
That was ugly, but here's the thing. I mean, at this point, it literally and truly, early in the season it might matter, but this time of year, all that matters 100% is what this team is doing on the weekend. That is all that matters.
I'm gonna clip that and just play it on loop anytime anybody.
Just play it on loop, please.
I will just play
it. Hey, if I thought otherwise, I would absolutely say it. But I'm just telling you, in late April, we're almost to May 1st. Nobody cares if you lost to UNO on a Tuesday.
Thank you for saying that, Kendall.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't even know LSU lost until I saw it scroll across my Twitter feed late last night. That tells you how big of a loss that was.
What is significant, though, is that this team continues to struggle fielding, and that is their Achilles heel. We don't know if it'll get much better, and hopefully that it does this weekend with Georgia coming in. We got about 3 minutes left. The rest of the league, if I ask you to take shape of it right now, and I know that the projections are out, what are you thinking as far as SEC top 8 seeds and regional hosts?
Yeah, so I think right now from a top 8 standpoint, obviously you're looking at Tennessee. I think you're looking at Arkansas. Although Arkansas after the series lost to A&M, they have a little bit of work to do here down the stretch. And as of right now, we have Georgia in that 8th spot. I think when you look at the Bulldogs overall, even with the A&M series loss, they put together a pretty good resume, and they've got Jonathan Cannon back, so it's easy to buy in stock of Georgia being a top 8. So that's kind of the top 8 situation. The top 16 situation, it is wide open right now, with A&M, Vanderbilt, LSU, and teams like that.
Auburn, I think you'll have right now as a regional host as well.
Auburn would be a top 16 right now. And again, Auburn, we talk about these head-to-head series wins, how important it is. But, Auburn, series win over LSU. Auburn, series win on the road against A&M. Those 2 road series wins are going to do wonders for Auburn down the stretch, because those are huge head-to-heads to have.
Kendall Rogers, D1Baseball.com. He's on Twitter at Kendall Rogers. If I asked you right now, LSU, they're 10-8, 12 to go, and we're going to play Georgia, Ole Miss, Bama, and Vanderbilt. How do you think they finish regular season?
So I'm driving, so I'm not going to do the math, but I'll tell you what. I will go with an upset series win over Georgia.
Okay.
I will go with a series win over Ole Miss. They're at Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give them a series loss there. Where's the Vanderbilt series?
It's in Nashville.
I'll go 2-2.
Okay. So that would put LSU at 17-11. I'm sorry, 17.
Really?
That would put them at 17-13. If they win 2 of 3 in their last 3 series and take one against Alabama, that's 7 more wins or 10-8. That puts them at 17-13. I mean, they're a regional host at 17-13.
Yeah, so I'm actually a game ahead of where I thought LSU might be. So there you go.
That's
Meanwhile, you got Ole Miss, who I think is actually going to finish the season 11-19, which is unbelievable. I mean, how about that, Matt? I mean, you have Mike Bianco, who almost, well, people think almost could have gotten an LSU job.
I know.
And now the guy's probably gone.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. As the season progresses, certainly we'll read all about it there. Make sure you're subscribed up at D1 Baseball if you're not yet, and follow Kendall on Twitter at Kendall Rogers. Thanks, man. We appreciate you as always.
You got it, buddy. Have a good week.
All right, man.
Thank you, Matt.
You do the same. Always appreciate a couple minutes from Kendall. How about that? Get that clip on loop. Loop it, Muse. The UNO game does not matter. All that matters what you do in April is on the weekends. Hour 3 next.
AFR.
Brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online. Certainly matters on the weekend over at South Point Volkswagen, because a lot of people shop for their vehicles on the weekends. It's a lot of time when you can go test drive. Here's what I would highly recommend. Go to southpointvw.com. Remember, new, certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge, online. It's all there at southpointvw.com. When you go search vehicles at South Point Volkswagen, hit the new or used tab, either way. If you hit the new tab, you're going to see every vehicle. If it's on the lot, it's online at southpointvw.com. You can get the price of the vehicle. You can schedule a test drive. You can reserve a vehicle today. You can value your trade-in. You can even work out financing all on the website. So all you have to do is show up, sign a few paperwork, a little paperwork, and you're done. South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Search by year, make, model, body style type. It's all there at southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit dreams come true. And this year, we need your help more than ever.
We've interviewed these incredible kids, and each and every one of their stories brings tears to our eyes.
To have a dream granted means more to these families than you'll ever know.
And it wouldn't be possible without your help.
Dreams Come True has been hit hard by the events of the past year.
So we ask for your support in helping this incredible cause.
Our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today.
Clean your garage with the new or pre-owned vehicle from Corval Toyota. It's an easy process to pre-order your next vehicle with us. So reserve yours today. Come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years. Front-to-back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Bulls would be without guards Zach LaVine and Alex Caruso in a must-win tonight against the Bucks in Game 5 of their first-round NBA playoff series. LaVine's in health and safety protocols, while Caruso's out due to concussion protocol. Coverage in 1 hour on ESPN Radio. No more minutes restrictions for Steph Curry, but the Warriors have yet to say if he'll return to his starting role against the Nuggets in the potential clincher tonight. Curry, who missed about a month with a foot injury, has come off the bench the first 4 games. When Steph is back in the starting lineup, someone's got to move to the bench, and it's not an easy call, notes ESPN Warriors reporter Kendra Andrews.
Is it going to be Jordan Poole, who has exceeded everyone's expectations in the way that he's filled in for Steph? Will it be Kevon Looney? Will they start that small ball lineup right away, even though they're playing against arguably the best center in the NBA? Or will it be Andrew Wiggins, who, yes, has had a quieter, a smaller role, but the Warriors have been very pleased with the way he's played this series.
Golden State's Andre Iguodala is out of Game 5 with a neck injury. NFL Jags and left tackle Cam Robinson agreed on a 3-year, $54 million extension.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you have in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios. That's right.
Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
Chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day. I promise it is. There it is. Hey, Muse.
It's hump day.
What?
You know what they say slows reaction time.
Mike. What
Nope.
day is it, Mike?
I sure don't.
Oh, I think you do.
Nope.
I'm all red.
Not me.
A little bit of the hooch.
It's hump day.
Mary Jane.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Little grass.
Nah.
Ganja.
It's hump day.
Nah.
I mean, you keep saying no. But as they say, Muse.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Actions speak louder than words. Sean Salisbury in about 12 minutes.
It's hump day.
If Muse can remember calling.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
If you miss Larry Holder in hour 1, you can listen on demand. If Muse remembers to post it on demand.
Oh, that's already posted.
Oh,
It's hump day.
Oh, that was before 420.
I was hoping you wouldn't miss that. I mean,
Hour one.
that was on a tee.
Hour one.
That was on a tee.
All right. Let's get rolling here. By the way, I am, after the show today, going to get out of here, head over to Olive or Twist, Scone and Tea. If you're not familiar, T-Bob and I, we do the podcast Wednesdays. We did it 2 days a week during the football season, and friends at Oliver Twist came and said, we love the podcast, we want to sponsor it. So we're doing an on-site live recording of the podcast every Wednesday at Oliver Twist. Yes, that's all of the Wednesdays, like all of the ones. So Oliver Twist on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, great spot, terrific menu. The largest whiskey selection you'll find anywhere, creative cocktails, draft beer, all that good stuff. So come and join us. 7 o'clock, we go live. If you can't be at Oliver Twist, jump on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, and you can watch Scone and Tea live at 7 o'clock. Mickey Loomis met with reporters today, Wednesday, one day before the draft, as he does every year, and it never fails. Mickey Loomis generally says not much, because why would a general manager one day before the draft tip his hand about what he's going to do? He wouldn't, but by obligation with the NFL, he's got to have this press conference, and reporters have to ask him questions that he typically won't answer and typically doesn't say much, but this one was interesting. Mickey Loomis was asked if they see more value in the middle of the first round this year. Give a listen.
I don't know about more or less. I just, look, there's a group of players that we like that we think are going to be available.
I'm not so sure that he's specifically saying, and that was in reaction to the trade with the Eagles to get 2 first-round picks. And so when he says there's a group of players we like that we think are going to be available, it certainly doesn't say like he's targeting one. Now, he's not saying we're definitely going to use both picks, but he kind of is saying there's a group of players we think are going to be available there, and we may have a chance to get 2. Like he was saying, they had with the trade for the Eagles, it was an opportunity to get multiple players earlier. So I do think that the Saints are going to use both of those picks. The fascinating thing would be if they feel there's an opportunity to move up, but that would only present itself very likely if one of the premier left tackles is not there or is on the board. Let's say Charles Cross, if Neil and Ike Ekwonu, I'm mispronouncing it, I know, I'm sorry, the kid from NC State, the large man from NC State, excuse me. Let's say Charles Cross is the 3rd best tackle in the draft, and he starts to slide a little bit past the 10th pick, the 11th pick, the 12th pick. Do the Saints say, let's go get him? And maybe you give 16 and 49 or 16 and 98, whatever it might be, to go up and get that franchise left tackle. Okay, I'd be down with that. Otherwise, I think they're going to stay put there. But most of the questions for Mickey Loomis revolved around the trade with the Eagles. Now, he was also asked about free agency and if that's still a possibility after the draft. Here's what Mickey Loomis said about the possibility of still addressing some of these roster needs in free agency after the draft.
Yeah, I think, we're going to find out. Yeah. Here's the thing is, when we get done with the draft, we're still only going to have, 70, I forget what the number is exactly, but we're going to have roster spots available. So, yeah, there's still work to be done after the draft.
Work to be done. Adding players in free agency doesn't necessarily mean you're going to add Jarvis Landry or Tyrann Mathieu. It doesn't necessarily mean you're looking to spend a lot. If you get your high-priced, your top-tier receiver, you're likely not going after Jarvis Landry. Safety, I believe, is going to be very interesting. And I will throw out a name that I've heard sort of whispered to me a good bit that a lot of people within the Saints organization do like, and it's Jalen Petrie out of Baylor. Jalen Petrie is a guy who was a consensus All-American this year. He is a big safety. At 75 tackles this year at Baylor. Not a huge pass rush threat, but can play in the box and can be really effective. Actually had 3.5 sacks and 18.5 tackles for loss this year. So he can be that box safety that Malcolm Jenkins was. So if you think in terms of Marcus May replacing Marcus Williams, but you're looking for someone to replace Malcolm Jenkins, that could be Jalen Petrie. And remember also that he played for Dave Aranda. And Dave Aranda is a really good defensive coach, as we all know very well. He coaches very smart players within his defense. And I think that would be a home run for the Saints in round 2 if he's on the board when they pick at 49. I'm just going to throw – I don't often know. I'm not telling you like I know what the Saints board looks like or anything like that. I don't know. I don't know how they have it graded, what positions they covet the most, and really how round 1 is going to play out matters so much. Who is available when you're picking or if you make a move is going to dictate what you do in the remainder of the draft. But I do believe if the best case scenario unfolds, Trevor Pennig's there at 16, Chris Olave's there at 19, you address left tackle, wide receiver with 2 guys you like a lot. And if Jalen Petrie's on the board at 49 and you take him in round 2, now you've addressed really your 3 biggest needs with your first 3 picks. And that gives you the luxury the rest of the draft to go running back, defensive tackle, quarterback, whatever might be out there, as we've seen in all these different mock drafts. But just a name to keep an eye on. If he's floating around on the board in round 2, still, Jalen Petrie could be a guy at safety that the Saints pull the trigger on that they really like a lot. But we'll all start to get to know it. And it's so interesting, too, because this is a franchise that was so bad at drafting. And, I've shared this with you before, but like in 2017, when they used number 32 to take Ryan Ramczyk, I dumped on him. I mean, they drafted a backup offensive tackle. They traded Brandon Cooks, basically draft what was going to be a backup offensive tackle. But then Zach Strief gets hurt, and Ramczyk, it's been incredible. That same draft, they took Alvin Kamara in round 3, when they had already, just before the draft, a week before the draft, signed Adrian Peterson. It's like, why did you sign a running back if you're going to draft a running back in round 3? But keep in mind, the Saints were a horrible drafting team. The 2014, 15, 16 drafts were atrocious. So, Mike Thomas notwithstanding. But that one draft in 2017 flipped the way we perceive how this team drafts, because they have been magnificent. They deserve the benefit of the doubt with however they put stuff together now, because they've got a long enough track record to say their scouting, their evaluation, the way that they handle draft day, it's worked. And it's manifested itself in one of the winningest teams in the NFL in the last half decade, certainly since 2017. And we'll get a new look at the next draft starting on Thursday. All right, it's after further review. I do want to talk quarterback. Sean Salisbury is going to join us next to talk about the quarterbacks in this draft and who might be a fit in New Orleans. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. Agent225.com. Agent225.com. Real life story. Of course, we've been working hand in hand with Darren over at HUDCO because Darren's got a client selling a property. It's a commercial building with a metal roof. And there's a disagreement between the buyer and the seller over the roof if it needs to be repaired or replaced. Darren has worked tirelessly to get a half a dozen estimates and opinions from different contractors, roofing contractors, about what to do with that roof to make the best deal possible for his client and to make sure this thing gets to the closing table. Darren always says, hey, man, let's make it happen. It's like his slogan. It's his catchphrase. You just can't miss it. And Darren always finds ways to get it done. You need to get to closing, you need to sell your home, or maybe you're looking to buy. Darren will make it happen. 335-7666 or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorns in stock with 0% for 72 months. Shop our inventory or custom order your Ram with $2,000 bonus cash and a 1,000,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Hey, look what I motivation I needed to live healthier. My new favorite sport.
I found my groove.
I found I'm part fish.
My second win when I needed it most.
I found more than a gym.
The affordable childcare this mom needed. Time for myself. We found our why.
Have you found yours?
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
One of the best parts of our week during football season. Why not do it here on the eve of the draft? Sean Salisbury joins us. How are you, man?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Doing awesome. Great to hear your voice. Glad to have you back. Do you watch the draft like with great interest? I mean, I love the draft. How do you feel about it?
I watch the first night, and I'll be doing work for my station. I will obviously be heavy into the first round. I pay a lot of attention to that, and I'll watch it. But once we're out of the first round, it's really not a point doing for me. Now, I obviously am checking updates all the time on who drafted what, saying a lot of people are pre-draft people of like mocks and all that, and there's 8 million of them.
Yeah.
And we all get into it. I actually love doing where they fit in when the draft's over. So I do pay attention to all of it. I'll go back and review after all the rounds. But once the first round's done, the next day, if I'm sitting in my office or watching, I turn it on and I'm watching, or the next evening. But I don't. The second round and beyond is not appointment viewing for me, only the first round for me. But then I follow it all either through following on my phone or watching. But I don't make it a point to sit in front of the TV and watch the second round and beyond.
Well, I know you study quarterbacks, you train quarterbacks, so I want to kind of lean into that expertise here a little bit, because the general consensus, Sean, is that this isn't a very strong quarterback class. What do you see?
I don't see one guy of the, let's just say the four top, if you want to include Sam Howell and Carson Strong from Nevada and a couple other guys that are that may be third to fifth or sixth round guys that could make a team and be really good. We don't know the Davis Mills of the world. It's the most difficult position to evaluate in sports, period, because of all the not just tangible stuff, but the intangibles and how people react from Saturday to Sunday, all the stuff that's been well documented. And quite frankly, in more time when the draft's over, how much deeper we can get into why it's so hard to evaluate. But for me, there's not a guy in this class that I see, that I've studied or watched, that tells me that when he gets off the plane after being drafted, he starts during OTAs and it's his job.
Wow.
I don't think there's one. As a matter of fact, if you said over-under on quarterback starts for these 4 first to top second-round rookies, Matt Corral and the other 3, I would say if you set it at 8, I would take the under combined with all 4 of them. Their rookie year.
Oh, wow.
So I don't think there's the outlier is, let's say Carolina drafts a guy. And, we always say, what if somebody gets hurt? I'm talking about he gets off, starts the opening day, and if you said started, now the injuries come into it, you could lose that bet in one. But let's say Carolina drafts Willis or Kenny Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
I still think they're going to have to – I don't think either one of them beats out Sam Darnold or like that right off the bat. Now, 2 games in, Darnold may throw 6 picks, and they may get it. But a desperate team, I can't fathom that somebody, even in Seattle, if they draft one, Drew Lock may hold the job down for 6 to 7 weeks. I would take the under on 8 to 10 with all 4 of them. I don't think there's an instant impact, oh my gosh, franchise-changing rookie. Now, every single one of them's got something I really, really like, and every single one of them's got quite a few ifs or a handful of ifs by their name. Why I don't draft quarterbacks in the top 10 if the ifs outweigh the urgency. Now, 3 years from now, Malik Willis gets the right coaching. He has got every single physical skill set and knows football, was well coached, by Hugh Freeze. And then you look at Matt Corral, who understands fast-paced offense. You look at Ritter's maturity and the way he's gotten better. And then there's who am I leaving out? Oh, Kenny Pickett, probably not the strongest arm of the group by any stretch, but the pure thrower, a lot of reps doing it. So there's not one guy that I say when he gets off the plane in April that he's starting for me when we open up the season. And I'm including Seattle, Carolina, and anybody else. Long-term, I think we got something. But the reason we don't think it's a sexy draft is because Andrew Luck, Trevor Lawrence, those type of guys at the top, at least on the surface, they're not here.
Sean, there's been a lot of conversation about the Saints potentially pulling the trigger on Kenny Pickett at 19 if he's still there. Saints or maybe Pittsburgh at 20. Would that make sense to you if the Saints used either 16 or 19 on a quarterback?
Well, let me ask you this. Let's just say, how many players do you think, and we all have how many players are they away from winning the NFC South? Let's say them and Tampa are the 2 best teams, right? Yeah. We know they're loaded on defense, right? They're defensively, at least the last couple of years, they've been a Super Bowl caliber defense.
Yes.
Kamara's healthy. He's good. Thomas back. Good. Receiving core pretty solid. But, you can never have enough of those weapons. Okay, now we get to make sure you protect the passer. All right, are you right now, if I said who's better, Kenny Pickett or Jameis Winston? I'll take Winston. Now, the one thing that I can't wait to see what Pete does with him is, you and I talked about, is Jameis now, while you protected the football and learned that style of New Orleans play, now can we find the happy medium where we don't just cut you so loose that you're throwing the ball to the other team 30 times, that you're more mature and judicious with the football that says, I can still take calculated chances. I never want to coach that out, but not stupid chances. And if I get the in-between Winston, Kenny Pickett's not better than Winston right now. Now, 3 games, you're 1-3, and he's struggling and hasn't recovered properly from all those things, and mentally, and he's turning the ball over. I get it. I don't think Kenny Pickett instantly makes your team. Let's say he starts in week 3. I don't think Kenny Pickett right now or Malik Willis make your team better this year. 3 years from now, maybe. But your best chance to win right now under the current structure by any of these 4 quarterbacks is Jameis Winston. The question is, Mickey Loomis and the group, what are your long-term plans? Is Jameis in their mind still a bridge? Is Jameis, are you still waiting to see, man, what if he lights it up and it's the in-between Jameis Winston protects it and puts up some great accuracy and make some big plays for us. So right now, for if you think you're a Super Bowl team this year or next year, I don't think Kenny Pickett would be the wise pick, or Malik Willis, or anybody else at that position. But if you think you're 6 players away and Jameis Winston's kind of one of them, then grab one, develop him, and get after it. It doesn't matter what you and I think. If you love him, draft him. If you think he's going to be a player, not a guy, but that guy, draft him. But if you think you're close and you need a couple extra weapons, another, a perimeter player, a stud offensive lineman, one of those guys, then pass on the quarterback and go in the second round and grab somebody else, or third round, or wait till next year and see what happens. We got a lot of quarterback movement that goes on in this league now. So I don't think a quarterback makes you more of a Super Bowl threat this year, whether he plays or stands his butt on the sideline. That's only my opinion.
Got 2 more for you. One, if the Saints were looking at a quarterback after those first 3 or 4 that sort of everyone's talking about, is there a guy that you really like that might be on the board at when, say, the Saints pick 98th in round 3?
I think I mentioned the kid at Nevada, at University of Nevada, Reno, Carson Strong, good player. I do like him. And I'll tell you who else I like. And there's a confidence gunslinger, and I got a little bit of that in Jameis Winston. But it's the kid Bailey Zappi from Western Kentucky. A lot of reps, well coached, can throw it around. And there's other ones. We could go through them. And like I said, what I may see or what you see, Maddie, it may be, Pete or Mickey or Dennis may see something a little different. But I like guys who get knocked around, got a little Texas toughness to them, is in a throwing system, which if you ain't getting reps throwing it, then you got problems. And there's a few other guys around, but I think Strong and Zappi, and who am I leaving out after and Sam Howell. I'll tell you, he was supposed to be the second or third guy taken when we started the year.
Right.
He's got a little bit of that Baker Mayfield swagger, and I'm not. People say, well, is that a good thing? But he's got some good leadership skills. Came in highly regarded. It was tough to live up to the hype going in. He can make all the throws, and he's got good feet, and he extends plays. I'd probably say he's next on the list after the 4, but I'm not sure how long he lasts, and somebody may say, hell, I'm not interested. Get him in the 3rd round. But and they did a good job at North Carolina, and he truly, in the last couple of years, he had to carry them. If he didn't play well, they don't win. Yeah. So there's a little bit of moxie there too, but those 3 kind of stick out. I'm driving, so I don't have my list in front of me, but after the 4, I like those 3, and I like the reps at Western Kentucky, but I think Sam Howell probably would come in next for me, but I know how that goes. It only takes one guy to love somebody from another school, and they jump all over him.
Hey, Sean, before you go, and Sean Salisbury is our guest. Follow him on Twitter at Sean Unfiltered. There's so much buzz here in the last 24 hours about the team in the market where you are, the Houston Texans, taking Derek Stingley 3rd overall. What are your thoughts? First of all, do you have any insight there? And what are your thoughts if that is the pick, Stingley to the Texans?
The only reason you don't take – well, first off, Matty, I don't think we've ever had but 1, maybe 2 corners drafted like with the 3rd pick of that. I don't know if we've ever had one drafted 2nd or higher. Mm-hmm. And the 3rd pick of the draft would be about as high as we've ever in this league in the modern era taken a corner. Now, when he was a freshman and I watched him on the field play, I with all those great players, I thought player talent-wise that I saw him. The COVID and then the injuries, if his health history is clear and he's good to go and he's 100%, and that is no concern and it all checks out, you're getting a star player. Here, though, Matt, the only thing that concerns me about taking a corner, and listen, Stingley's a monster. If he's healthy, how could I say, when you got that kind of skill set at that kind of program, why in the heck wouldn't I take him? The Texans have 5 different position needs, and Lovey plays too deep. He's a zone. I almost feel like we'd be with him and even Sauce Gardner that you're not getting. It'd be like taking a throwing quarterback and having him run the options 29 times a game. It's not allowing him on an island to do what they do best, and that is maul you and make plays. I don't need a corner to tackle and be physical. That's the bonus. I need a guy to cover, to be a lockdown guy, to be able to get out of his turn, out of his rotation of his hips, and out of his back pedal, drive on the football, and finish. Catch the ball when it's in your hands. Stingley can do all that. If I put it this way, if I'm talking about a corner being great in run defense, then he's probably not the best pass defender. If you get both the guys going to the Hall of Fame. So just real quick, if the medical's clear, I'm good. But in a too deep scheme when you got help over the top, I don't think that's the best idea for the scheme the Texans run. But I'm not going to bitch and complain if Stingley's the first pick, because that'll tell me medicals he's cleared. I think the Texans could use somebody that could impact them more immediately, but I think he is one hell of a player. And if healthy, we'll be having this same conversation 10 years from now of him being a star.
He's on Twitter at Sean Unfiltered. Y'all give him a follow. Sean Salisbury, you're the best, man. We always appreciate some time.
Matty, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Be well. That is Sean Salisbury. This is After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Blue Bond in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. Theantiagingclinics.com. Check them out online. Beach and pool season right around the corner. Need to drop some LBs, Ideal Protein. It can certainly help. Or, remember, VeloShape, non-invasive body contouring. Vaser Lipo is an option as well. Dr. Howell's won national awards for his Vaser Lipo. The Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Blue Bond in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette. Online, theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. At the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. By the way, there have only been 9 cornerbacks in the history of the modern draft. I'm sorry, in the last 25 years. 9 in the last 25 years that have gone in the top 5. Sean Springs went 3rd overall, which is the highest ever, as did Jeff Okudah in 2020. But Sean Springs, Bryant Westbrook, Charles Woodson, who went 4th back in 1998. Quentin Jammer, Terrence Newman, Patrick Peterson, who went 5th. Jalen Ramsey, who went 5th. Denzel Ward, who went 5th. And then Jeff Okudah, who went 3rd to the Lions a few years ago in 2020. So you're talking about Stingley, if he goes 3rd, tying Sean Springs and Jeff Okudah as the highest drafted cornerback of the last 25 years. And I would have to look in the further back history of the draft to see if anyone's gone higher. But you sort of understand, right, the rarefied air that we're talking about if Derek Stingley goes number 3 overall. And we talked about the money, the difference between going, say, 3rd, where you'd be talking about $34 million, thereabouts, and 12th, which would be about $17 million. You're talking about a difference of about $17 million from going 3rd and going 9th, or going 12th. That gap of 9 picks. So, I mean, if Stingley answered the questions about personality, all that stuff, which I have no doubt he did, and clearly he showed at his pro day he's healthy, there's no reason he shouldn't be a top 5 pick. And he made himself a ton of money with this pre-draft process. All right, it is After Further Review. We're going to knock out a break. When we come back, we'll reset Pell's Suns. Pell's facing elimination tomorrow night at the Blender. We'll get to that. Remember, if you want to bet on the Pell's Suns, you can do it at DraftKings. You want to bet on any any NBA playoff game, you can do it with the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. New customers bet just $5 on any NBA playoff game. Bet just $5. They give you $150 in free bets. Boom, at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Again, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. That's how you unlock that promotion. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Bet just $5 on an NBA playoff game. They'll give you $150 in free bets. Of course, you can bet on the MLB, any MLB game all season long. You want to bet NBA playoffs, you want to bet MMA, UFC, the NFL draft, you can do it all there at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Check it out. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. All right, we'll knock out a quick break. Come back. I want to talk some Pell's Suns when we get back. And Jimmy out with a little Otter Locks about 15 minutes from right now. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information, visit garciadidmyroof.com.
Bayou Ford has 0% for 60 months on new Ford F-150s, plus $500 bonus cash. We have new 2022 F-150s on our lot now. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
You know what? Pels lost. LSU lost last night. A lot of people a little bit disappointed. But tomorrow's going to be a great night. You know what's going to really boost our mood? Give me Graf.
He was hanging out in the corner, and Paul saw him. Oh, Paul!
picked it up, just crossed. Eight seconds. Jose did it again.
Yes, he did.
He did it again.
Yes, he did. He is a hound defensively.
They could have called Paul for a carry. Technical on Chris Paul.
Yep.
One of the bright spots when Jose Alvarado handcuffed Chris Paul, got him on an 8 count again, and Paul followed with a technical. By the way, Chris Paul afterwards was not pleased about that technical foul. Give it a listen.
Without getting fined?
Yeah,
this stuff is ridiculous, man. I thought I got across, like with 16, sort of like that play that happened in New Orleans. And I literally looked at the scores table because we at home, and I said, come on, like to the scores table, and he gave me a tech. Put that on everything. I don't know, what is it? I don't know, man.
So the officials basically misunderstood that you were talking to them and you were talking to...
I don't know, but even if I am, if I say, come on, is that a tech? Come on, man. Oh, let me say that again.
No.
Yeah, it's out of control, man. That's ridiculous.
They're still lobbying, man. Jose Alvarado is a pest, man. He's the kind of guy that, like, we all know someone like that. Like, when, no matter what level you played, in whatever sport you played. Like, there was a guy who, I hate to say it this way, but you know what, when I say it, you're going to know what I mean. Who's a tryhard, right? Like, not the best, but really out there giving it his all. You know, impress the coaches or whatever. You just don't typically see that at this level. Don't get me wrong. It's one of those things where when he's on your team, I talk about this with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson all the time. Hated that dude at Florida. Could not stand him at Florida. When the Saints drafted C.J. Gardner-Johnson, I rejoiced. Love that dude when he's on your team. Hate him when he's on the other team. That's Jose Alvarado. When he's on your team, you love it. He's the little engine that could. Straight energy. Picking up dudes 90 feet from the basket. He's just a pest. He's always into you. It's that. And it annoys the hell out of you when you got to play against it. When it's on your team, you love the guy. Here was Willie Green on Alvarado's defense on Chris Paul.
Yeah, Jose's incredible. He's a fantastic defensive player. He's a fantastic player just in general, and he just climbs into guys and he makes it tough on them. I think he's doing a pretty decent job on Chris. He's guarding him full court. He's gotten a couple 8-second violations and some steals coming up behind, getting that steal. He's doing an incredible job. You know, just unfortunately we fell short tonight.
So the Pels face elimination. Because the Heat closed out the Hawks, the Pels and the Suns game 6 is going to be at 6:30 p.m. on Thursday. So I'm pumped up about tomorrow. The NFL draft, the first round of the draft, it's one of my favorite days of the year. I am sort of abnormally geeked about the draft. I shouldn't be as excited about dudes in suits hearing their names called and then kind of like dapping up the commissioner. But I don't love that part of it. But I do love the draft. So I'm excited about tomorrow. You know, we'll be at Don Juan for our draft party. Come hang out with us. If you can't be there, companion show will be on 7 o'clock when the draft starts until it finishes on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Come hang out at Don Juan. It is a Pels watch party as well. They will have sound for the Pels game, house sound on in the bar, so you can watch the game, listen to it. Pels game starts at 6:30, and then, of course, we'll carry on. We'll be there from then all the way through the draft. So the Pels should be finishing around the time that the Saints are picking. So should work out really well. Plan to spend tomorrow night with us over at Don Juan Cigar Bar. It is after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Jimmy Ott will join us for a little Otter Locks to wrap up the show here in just a minute. Love telling you about the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. If you want to see 2020 without contacts or glasses, there is a way. No matter your age or refractive issue, go for that consultation with Dr. Blake Williamson. I'm so thrilled that I did. Still now seeing better than 2020. 3 years post-LASIK. Call 924-2020. If it's LASIK, if it's PRK, if it's a lens replacement, the Williamson Eye Center can help. 924-2020 or WilliamsonEye.com. All right, y'all, it is after further review. Been a really good show. If you missed anything, Larry Holder was here in hour number 1. We had Taylor Calandro for Bourbon Dictionary. Kendall Rogers last hour talking some LSU and SEC baseball. Said he's got the LSU Tigers finishing 17-13 in the conference. Had them taking 2 out of 3 this weekend against Georgia, against Ole Miss, losing the series at Bama, but winning the series at Vanderbilt. So, I mean, you're talking 17-13. 17-13, you're regional host. The other thing he said that was fascinating was says if LSU gets to 16 wins, including the SEC tournament, they'd be a regional host. What a turnaround that would be considering how this conference slate started for LSU. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out our final break of the show. Come back. Jimmy will be here for a little Otter Locks. Find out what we're betting on tonight. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital. I know I've been stressing it, but it's really worth mentioning as well with this weekend. The Garth Brooks concert will be out at Tiger Stadium, and, man, it's just going to be a full, jam-packed day. If you find yourself in need of medical assistance, remember, they got 2 urgent care locations on either end of LSU's campus. Directly across from Tiger Stadium, I mean, right next to Torchy's Tacos in that shopping center, is one of the BR General Express Care locations. And then on Highland, just through the South Gates, you go south on Highland, you pass through the South Gates, it's on the right in that shopping center. And, of course, they got a Dutchtown location as well. 7-day-a-week, walk-in urgent care. When you need to see a doctor, but you don't have time to wait for an appointment, and it's not so severe that you need the emergency room, the Baton Rouge General Express Care locations are exactly what you need. Download the Baton Rouge General app. You can check wait times on the app, and you can always check in online as well at brgeneral.org. brgeneral.org for the Baton Rouge General Hospital.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit dreams come true. And this year, we need your help more than ever.
We've interviewed these incredible kids, and each and every one of their stories brings tears to our eyes.
To have a dream granted means more to these families than you'll ever know.
And it wouldn't be possible without your help.
Dreams Come True has been hit hard by the events of the past year.
So we ask for your support in helping this incredible cause.
Our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today.
Look what I found!
The motivation I needed to live healthier.
My new favorite sport.
I found my groove.
I found I'm part fish.
My second win when I needed it most.
I found more than a gym.
The affordable childcare this mom needed. Time for myself. We found our why.
Have you found yours?
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but 2 NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years. Front-to-back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch, we come final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. Remember, John Trey Kirkland will be doing an autograph signing at Pluckers tomorrow from 6 to 9 p.m. during the draft. So get them by this Nicholson location, by the way. All right, one thing left to do. Find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otterlock.
Otterlocks, presented by Bocage Barbershop in Bocage Village. Serving the Bocage, Goodwood, and Town Center area since 1959.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable and often incomprehensible, the Ott father himself, Jimmy Ott. Otter, how are you?
Doing good. The Tails decided to just kind of let the Suns dribble out instead of that nonsense fouling every 2 seconds. Foul three.
Well, they did. They pulled off. Come on. They pulled off in the final minute or so. But you did hit on the under, which was 215 and a half. So made a nice play on that under and certainly enjoyed that. I did not take the Pels in the points last night, Otter. I just played the under.
It was, we had Henry Hayes on last night, and he said it made a lot of sense and stuff. Hey, man, Mikal Bridges, and then the backup point guard, they got really good minutes. There's the fire department leaving, so I'm not sure if you can hear them or not.
Nope, can't hear it.
What's that?
No, cannot hear it.
Okay.
Great.
So the passing, we're right in front of Rouse's and Finbaum right now.
Yeah.
They came by. Yes. It's good to know that our first responders are eating light, huh? So they can eat light on their feet. Yeah, remember the old days where you put some greasy jambalaya in the firehouse or something,
Donuts.
I'm glad to see that. Yeah, donuts. All right. First game is trash. All right. I mean, it's just it is so bad. I mean, even I have standards. The under is 4-0 in this series. Milwaukee and the Bulls. But check it out. The game one under was 230. Game tonight is 217.5. So, I mean, they've adjusted it. All of the Levine with the COVID and this, it's just a kind of a trash game. Milwaukee can beat them as bad as they want, but how bad, I don't know. We'll pass. Okay. Golden State, get your pen ready.
All right, I'm ready.
Golden State just coasted for 3 quarters and then tried to turn it on and actually took a two-point lead late. Their defense was way off, gave up way too many points, but I like how that sets up this one. I think they close out. They don't want to go back to Denver. This is an experienced playoff team. We like Golden State minus the 8.5. I'm not sure what you're looking at right now.
I'm looking at 8.5.
Okay, 8.5. Also, 225.5. All 4 games have gone over here, including the last one when they were playing regular season defense. Look for that defense to come back. I love the matchup with Draymond against Joker. We're going under 225.5. You may find a 226 out there somewhere. So what are you looking at?
I'm looking at 225.5 DraftKings. So, yeah, right on that number.
Okay. And then the Denver team total at Bet Rivers, we have 108.5. Same thing. Inflated number last time. Look for them to crack down on that. 108.5 under. So we got a little trifecta in the night game. So go take the wife out to eat. Go see Drew Lake Singles over in Burbank. I mean, whatever you got to do, baby.
I got to go hang out with T-Bob at Oliver Twist to do the Scone and Tea podcast. No rest for the weary here, Otter.
Hey, nice specialty cocktail menu, though. Oh, not bad.
It's the best.
Not bad. So, but God bless you with T-Bob. So anyway, Golden, he's going to smash specialty cocktails on his head and all this. I mean, what is going on with that guy? I'm worried about him.
I don't know, man. Sometimes you wonder, is it a bit or is he for real? And the more you think it might be a bit, the more you're around him and you realize, no, this is what he is. And
all right, am I to 60 seconds yet?
Not yet.
Okay, real quick. So I'm sitting next to his dad when T-Bob was playing. And T-Bob was in and out of the lineup and things like that. And, there's actually a takedown stat, pancake in the game notes.
Uh-huh.
He said, Jimmy, this is not being a dad, man. This is not being T-Bob leads the team in pancakes. I said, he sure does, Bobby. He sure do. Sure. I love Bobby. I love that family. And then I see him at another time, and T-Bob when his hair was real long. He thinks he's a barbarian. He thinks so. Anyway, we love the Hebert family. Hey, I got one play in Major League Baseball looking for the sweep at Toronto. So we're going with the Blue Jays at a modest number. The Red Sox not nearly what they are, at home. And so we're going with the Blue Jays.
Of course. Now you're picking the Blue Jays to beat the Red Sox. He's going to give you the 1-minute warning.
Hey, well, that's all right. Ring my bell. Ring my bell, Luso.
Where are you tonight? Oh, you're at Finbom. You're at Finbom. Okay.
Pay attention, class.
Finbom right there at Burbank and Lee. Y'all go check out the Otter tonight. Thank you, Otter. Have a great show.
Thank you, Matt.
All right. If you're not in Baton Rouge, of course, you can listen online at 1045ESPN.com or the Game Time with Jimmy Ott Facebook page. Musa, what did you learn today?
Derek Stingley, number 3 overall. Book it.
Paulie, what did you learn today?
Nick Brissett joining the LSU coaching staff.
That is a very cool thing that Nick Brissett's joining the LSU coaching staff.
What did you learn today, Matt?
Kendall Rogers has LSU as a regional host with 16 SEC wins. That includes the SEC tournament. Looking really likely. Muse, Paulie, appreciate you guys. Have a great night. Come see us at Oliver Twist.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Tell you every day, do business with someone you know. That's us at HUDCO Roofing. Louisiana company, Louisiana born, Louisiana owned, even using Louisiana shingles made at the CertainTeed plant in Shreveport, Louisiana. You can look for the Shreveport logo on every single pallet of CertainTeed shingles. Hey, look, one thing that we get a call every single day at HUDCO, without fail. People have, the insurance adjuster's been out to your house. You've got your scope of work. A lot of people even have your check. You've gotten your check from your insurance company. You're not sure what to do next. Call us, 364-1007. Call right now, 364-1007. It rings our office line, but it also forwards to many different people's cell phones, so you're more than likely going to get someone answering the phone all the time. HUDCOroofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Let us help you. Roof repairs, roof replacements, HUDCOroofing.com. HUDCOroofing.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorns in stock with 0% for 72 months. Shop our inventory or custom order your Ram with $2,000 bonus cash and a 1,000,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. License